Yay! I might be a little loud, but that's okay. Welcome, everyone, to tonight's episode of The Minds Game. Back from break. I was on vacation last week, so we're starting this back up. That's Tina. She's so sweet. No, but welcome in. Thank you for joining us. If you haven't already, please consider following the channel. Actually, please follow the channel. It is free. We are 8 followers away from 100, and I will plan on doing something special when we hit 100 followers because that'll be awesome. The music that probably cannot be heard very well currently in the background is reminiscent of what's going on tonight, but a few announcements first. Like I said, follow the channel if you haven't already. Please consider subscribing if you have the money for it. We understand it's a tough time, so we would love if you could, but obviously we understand if it's tough right now. If you subscribe with Prime Gaming, don't forget to resubscribe each month. That's going to be important to remember. If you would like, we have new content literally this Friday. Our wonderful Shane will be starting his own homebrew campaign up, which will be a lot of fun. We also have an episode of Mini Paint and Chill this Thursday, which we'd love for you guys to come out and watch, and an episode of Back in Stylus on Sunday. A lot of things coming back in the mix. If you missed it, our latest episode of Dungeon Brawl was this past Saturday and is up on our YouTube channel, which we would love if you could subscribe to. Follow us on all our socials. That'd be awesome. At Stream of MT on most things, or Stream of Many Things on others. I think that's it. I don't think we have any more announcements at all. We're not like sponsored by anyone. This is just us. Yeah, that's it. So without further ado, I will get us into what we left off with 2 weeks ago. The party coming up on the end of a path found their way into this old abandoned dwarvish city known as the Halls of Bonbadir, where they have nearly 100% confirmed the flower that is needed is going to be having taken their balloon southward and running into some stone giants who thought it'd be fun to throw boulders at them. And with our blue tiefling turning into a blue eagle and not realizing that he was smart anymore, diving for a rabbit, losing said rabbit, and continuing the trek, they found themselves at the doorway of this long lost city to who knows what, with the door slightly ajar. Making their way in, they found a large foyer with a long dead hearth and rotting wood and materials seeming left. Many statues of seemed to be dwarves past, crumpled, vandalized in some way, and 2 large, seemingly deity statues also being vandalized or cracked and fallen in some way. A long tunnel lay ahead of you. Dark, dry, and with some draft of hot air blowing in your direction. And that is where we left off. So, as you guys stand at the precipice of this dark cavern leading further into the halls themselves, what would you like to do?
What does it smell like in here?
It's musty. It's old. It smells like it hasn't been touched for a while. However, there is a small, like, ever so faint smell of familiar to Gideon. There's a smell of like the forge, that kind of like coal smell that kind of still sifts through the halls of this area. as well as the faintest bit of sulfur. But that's all that you get. There is no other pathway besides leading out through the foyer, which is still giving some faint light through that crack in the door where the door is just off its hinge. But other than that, it is pretty much pitch black in here.
I reach up and put my goggles down so I can see some shit.
Okay. Those of you with dark vision can see up to that point where it kind of cuts off. It looks like a tunnel that just continues to lead down. It looks to be after about 30 feet of your vision, it starts to kind of step down in long and elongated, it's kind of redundant, but long steps that start to show a downward path.
Okay.
Do you guys feel something warm, like a warmth in the air? Like when you pee in a lake, but like in the air? Is it just me?
Have you peed in a lot of lakes?
I just look at them and smile.
Do you really need to answer that question?
Yeah, you know what? You've got a point.
All right. Dancing lights.
Okay.
Just gonna send them as far ahead as I can send them.
You do your atypical caterpillar light out to its extent, and the hallway just continues on with that faint torchlight. Doesn't seem to split off in any motion yet, but you gather it probably will at some point.
As we start looking down this hallway with the lights, I lean back and say, so remind me, how long has this place supposedly been abandoned?
Hey God, how long has this place supposedly been abandoned?
Yeah.
It's been a couple centuries. As I told you when you did the research, which wasn't too long ago.
Not in game time, but in real life.
Yeah. In game time, not too long ago. In real life was about 2 weeks ago.
Fucking ages ago.
I know. It kind of falls off the historic map about around 200 years ago. You remember reading about it, how it was like I said, it was the height of its kind of general idea, where it was this offshoot of Ovnin that came down and kind of made their own life, started to become a very big proponent of the mechanical and magical mixed together. And then for some reason, they stopped letting people in, and then were never heard from again. And people just stopped showing up.
A dog team.
Well, that's not ominous at all. Shall we?
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Marching order.
Nothing to do here. I am out in front.
Okay.
I'm gonna go about 10 feet in front of everyone else.
Okay. You do still
gonna-
have Fenris.
Good. Is the tunnel big enough to be mounted?
Oh yeah, it's quite wide.
Cool.
I'm going to ignore the fact that he's going ahead of everyone else and try to stick around 5 to 10 feet close enough to him, because he's not the one with dark vision.
Well, he does have the goggles
even
that
though
are
we have-
given.
Oh, he's got the goggles.
Yeah.
That counts.
Wheeler, even though we have
Still.
the lights up, I'm actually gonna put one of my shield away from my left hand and pull out a torch.
Okay. So you go ahead and
So
light the torch.
Axe in right hand, torch in left hand.
Okay.
I'll be behind
I'll be close to Brian.
Okay, so 1, 2, 3. You taking up the rear, or you're taking up the rear with Rook? Okay. So as you guys continue to walk forward, soft clangs of metal
That's a nope. I would just like it to be known that though I am in front and leading the charge, I am very much not looking for any kind of traps in any way.
Okay.
Which is why I'm apparently
Not on purpose.
traps and things.
You'll fucking find him though.
Yeah. As you come forward, one of the first things you notice, Ashter, is you're not quite sure the distance, but there gets a point where the tunnel that you're leading down cross sections into what seems to be two to the side doored off rooms. However, the tunnel does continue going at a downward angle in these long steps. Both doors seem to be closed at the moment.
I'm going to dismount real quick and just go put my ear to the left-sided door. And just, do I hear anything?
Make a perception check.
God, I've missed D&D. Oh, that's really good. 24.
24. You don't hear anything. It seems to be quiet.
I'm gonna try and open it.
Okay. The one on the left or the one on the right?
One on the left.
Okay. It is currently locked.
I knock.
Okay. You guys all hear this as it kind of echoes down the hall, like.
Pull Ashter aside. Hey, buddy.
Yeah, man.
Listen, there's this thing about abandoned old dwarven cities that something usually winds up killing these things, and I would really rather not run into it. So if you're not willing to
but counterpoint, it killed them long time ago. Ergo, long time ago killed means thing that killed them probably long time dead too.
That's true. That is how time works. However, that doesn't mean that something even nastier hasn't moved in.
Well, now you're just being a pessimist.
I would like to point out that I put money on the thing in here being a dragon, and dragons definitely live longer than 200 years.
Oh yeah, what was the bet? What was the bet? Who put what on what?
I did not write it down, and I am the note taker.
I think David wrote it down.
I wrote it down.
Don't take notes for anything else, but takes notes for what bets we're putting down on what's going to be inside this place.
Listen.
Before you
look at it,
not that.
I know I wasn't playing when the bets were made, but I'm just going to retroactively say my bet was a really, really, really old dwarf.
I wrote down my bet. So
I made a bet for Ashter that was some kind of weird like construct thing.
No, wasn't it Sky Ghosts?
No, Sky Ghosts was in the balloon, which was the best bet ever.
That was my vote.
Yeah.
I thought it was still Sky Ghosts.
No, that cracked everyone because Kyron's like straight-faced Sky Ghost was just like the best thing.
As if that's a normal fucking thing to say.
Yeah. But there's no response.
My bet was that the dwarves have all gone crazy, and they are.
Okay.
They're like undead or immortal or something and insane. I don't know. My bet is on dwarf anger.
Okay.
Can we make new bets because we didn't?
Yeah, go ahead and make new bets, or take a quick moment to rewatch the VOD.
I'm pretty sure that Zinnia bet on Giants being
is one.
Like,
hold on,
my bet is one very, very, very old dwarf that kind of looks like the Peter Dinklage character that reforged Thor's axe in the Avengers Endgame.
Okay.
Wow.
That's my bet.
Next bet.
Dragon.
Zinnia's still gonna go Giants. She doesn't know better.
Okay, Giants. From Zinnia.
Undead dwarves.
Undead dwarves.
Crazy undead dwarves.
I'll say more creepy fungus.
Okay, more creepy fungus. All right, sorry. Someone just put something in chat that I just read, and it was really funny. I will take note of each of these bets. God has noted. Now, no one answers the knock as you knock on the door. It does sound like someone does because there's an echo, but...
I look back at Brian and see, see, no one's home anyway. Let's keep going. And I mount back up and start walking down the stairs.
Okay, you're just leaving the doors behind?
No one's home.
Yep.
Okay. As you guys continue moving down, it's probably equidistant from how long it took you to get to these doors before you make it to a fork in the tunnel. There is a extension of the tunnel that leads off to the right and an extension that leads off to the left. And as you guys are looking across the wall, there does seem to be some kind of script on the wall. It is hard to tell what the writing is. The lights kind of spread a little too thin at the moment.
I walk up to it and hold my torch up to it a little
Okay.
bit to get a better view.
What languages do you speak?
I speak Draconic, Elvish, and Common.
Okay. One of the letterings looks familiar to you, but it's kind of scrubbed off, almost like just the natural erosion of the place in here is kind of cut through this writing in the wall. There is a script above it that seems a little bit more clear, but it's a language you don't understand.
I turn back in my saddle and say, "This isn't on me, guys. Someone up."
I got it. I'll walk up to the wall.
Okay.
Comprehend languages.
Okay.
Ritual.
Okay, so you take a little bit of time. You still feel it's not too often, but there is an interval at which you feel that kind of like draft of warm air kind of breathe through. And it kind of, even though it's warm, it still kind of sends chills up like the back of your neck. It's just very weird. But as you finish the ritual and cast it, the kind of scrawling shifts into a language that you understand. There's actually one on each side. And as you kind of look at each of them, the one off to the right says what roughly translates to like mess hall or like food court. And the one to the left says inns, taverns, that just general gist.
Okay, it's a map, or at least it's signs and directions.
Great.
All right, we got mess hall to the right, inns and taverns to the left. My bet is on. Well, there's always something in a tavern, right? So.
All right. Well, if I were a celestial and I had to pick a spot to be murdered, it would definitely be where alcohol was.
Sure.
I mean,
I look around at the rest. I look around at the rest of the group, just waiting for someone to fucking challenge me.
I mean, also
I got nothing.
same, but
Astra, if the higher powers are anything like you, I think we're in a lot more trouble than we think.
All right, so you guys are taking the path to the left. Okay.
sure.
It's same marching order? Okay.
Yeah.
You guys start to walk down that pathway. And it's about 300 feet from there. before, as you guys are, I'm assuming stealthily or at least quietly, moving along, you hear this like, and you guys kind of look at each other real quick, and then seemingly unbeknownst to you a you're riding on Fenris, Fenris has stepped onto some kind of tripwire, and there is like a few long chains that have like the ends of morning stars on them that just kind of fall from the ceiling and swing through all of you.
Fuck yeah, it's a classic Skyrim dungeon.
Yeah, I need everyone to make a dex save for me real quick.
Listen, if the physics engine is as messed up as Skyrim, so we just all have to like jump into the wall, no clip through the dungeon, we'll be good in no time.
18.
Okay.
14.
22.
Wow.
16
7
for me, and 9 for Fenris.
Oh,
okay.
Little boy.
Anyone who got over a 15, you take 3 points of piercing damage. Anyone who got under a 15, you take 6. As they just kind of rake across you and slam into you, and you guys just weren't expecting it. And as you kind of look at them, they seem very rusted. Like, this is not something that was set recently. Even now, looking at, like, the tripwire, you realize that it was very, like, thinned out to the point that it would have taken very little to get it to activate. But still, nonetheless, it has activated and hit you.
We might have to go get tetanus shots after this. Like,
What's
for
tetanus?
real?
Everyone except Aster.
Well,
You watch
Is that
as
that
like
game that little kids used to play with the falling bricks?
Yes.
I can really imagine
Oh.
Asher just getting like bricks dropped onto him as a child.
yes,
Like, he's like trying to play.
that's why his
They're
intelligence
telling
is
him
so
it's
low.
a game, and they're just on a roof chucking bricks at him, and he's just like laughing along because he's already a fucking idiot. And it just makes it worse. You can't prove that this didn't happen, Ben. It's my new headcanon.
Easily enough, though, you guys move through this temporary mishap. And as you kind of look back, you realize that it was really, the tripwire is really only on one side of the cavern. It's like whoever put it there just kind of gave up after half of it. It was like, someone will run through it.
We just took damage to the most lazy trap ever created in D&D.
Yeah. But you guys continue moving forward till you reach a very large cavern that looks to have like stonework buildings built out of the side of like the walls and really kind of recessed into them as well. As you kind of look through some of them with dark vision, it kind of cuts off at a certain point, but you can see into it. It looks like it's built into the side. There is no sound, there is no light, and it is musty and smells of general decay and like rotting food. And slightly acrid.
Man, what I would give to be
it.
able to cast Locate Object.
Okay, Chris, this is
Cast
very
locate
important.
object.
Is that something you are saying, or is that something...
Caw.
No, that's something I'm saying, because, as always, Artificer's the only class who doesn't get to learn Locate Object.
Chris, this
Oh.
is very
Which
important.
makes no
Is that something
sense.
you are saying out loud, or is that something Gideon is saying out loud?
No, it's not something Gideon's saying out loud. Fuck you
Good,
and your
nothing
metagame.
happens.
Yep, nothing happens then.
Nothing happens.
Nope. I'm really wishing, but silently.
I wonder if this is a good place for a flower to be.
I was thinking the same thing, but like we're underground. There's no light down here. I don't know what kind of fucking flower would grow in this place. This thing must be real, like evil and bad juju-esque.
I mean, yes.
Yeah.
Well, apparently whatever it was must have got them pretty suddenly if they were still in the middle of dinner.
Dude. Wait. That's a good idea.
What?
Free food. I go into one of the buildings, Wheeler.
Okay.
I'm gonna let him.
The acrid, musty, rotten food smell gets very strong as you walk in.
I just sort of like...
Are you on Fenris or are you just on your own?
I dismounted once I got to like the entrance of the dwelling and just walked in with the torch.
Okay.
Do I see anything in here?
Make a perception check.
Green eggs, classic.
Yep. Your favorite breakfast. 23.
Your food too.
You're all good. You see upturned tables that are in various states of brokenness and decay. You see broken stools. You see glassware that's decimated. You do catch a glint of something behind the bar. You swear it's like the movement of something dark, but it catches the light, so it can't be a shadow.
I'm gonna go walk towards it.
Okay.
Torch in front.
Okay. So you walk with the torch ahead of you and kind of look across it. There's some kind of liquid on the floor that's giving off this like that acrid smell gets very heavy as you kind of come towards it. And it reflects the light really well. You're not quite sure what it is.
Hell yeah. Wheeler, I think I know where this is going. Hell yeah.
I'm gonna lean in a little and like take a sniff.
Okay. You kind of give it a smell. It smells awful. It's like very... It's like the smell of like really intense acid.
And it's like black, you said?
Yeah.
I'm going to whistle and sort of like whisper, yell outside, be like, Kyron! I need your medical!
What? Okay.
I think I found some weird blood.
Oh. Okay, I'm coming. I'll sneak down.
Before you get the opportunity to, Ashter, as you're looking outside the window, there's this like, and you feel this like heavy slap on like the back of your leg, and then this just like sound. You take 2 points of bludgeoning damage. 1 second, I need to grab dice. It did hit, I did roll for it, and you can't use a reaction because it's surprising you. Oh, Jesus. So you take 2 points of bludgeoning damage. Oh, sorry, wait. You take 5 points of bludgeoning damage. My apologies. And 22 points of acid damage. As this seemingly motionless ooze of some kind has lashed out against your leg and is now trying to claw up, slurp up your leg onto your body.
I'm going to yelp like a bitch and then run out of the tavern yelling, "Not blood, not blood, not blood."
There's a second one that comes out of a corner as you're talking and starts to very slowly try and chase after you. Actually, as you guys are making noise, you guys start to hear from like all the surrounding buildings. Just like...
Why did we pick the food court?
Guys, it's time to go.
You guys didn't. You picked the inns.
Taverns.
Oh, well, that's backwards.
As you guys are...
I was like, this would be such an appropriate thing for...
The other side had something similar, I'll say. But as you're running out, this one is slowly just kind of like rolling towards you. And out of... from what you guys can see now, as you've kind of spread the lights out, you guys are you moving forward or are you trying to go back?
Back? Forward? Back?
There is a... for those of you who are just kind of wandering about, there is a tunnel that continues to lead down on the opposite side.
Who wants to go forward?
I'm still at this point.
Let's just go forward. Let's just go forward.
I'm still like hobble running out to Fenris, yelling still quite loudly, "Ah fuck, not blood, not blood, ah fuck me, ah not blood."
Shut up.
Speaking of which, as you try to run away, it tries to attempt to swat at you again, but you just kind of hop up and keep running. You guys, now that you can hear this, that slurping sound, I'll say, starts to get very loud. And like out of basically every crevice, window, doorway that's visible in here, you see some semblance of this tar-like substance coming out. There's one very large one about 150 feet to your left that, because of the light that's kind of just generally cascading from the torch and the dancing lights, you can see the shadow in the distance. It's much bigger.
Time to go.
They are very slowly trying to come towards you. If you don't move now, you will probably run into some of them, whichever way you choose to go.
Forward.
What do you mean? We've already left.
Okay, so you guys are just bolting forward. You're like, a couple of them get within pretty close distance to you, but not enough to attack you as you guys run through to the next part of this tunnel that continues to lead down. You just continue moving at a pace that you're comfortable with, and then after about 2 minutes, you stop hearing the sound coming closer to you. But you do get...
As we're running, I'm gonna cast Healing Word on the doofus.
Okay.
I'll just be like, how did you get hurt? I don't even care. Just fucking here, take this. It'll be second level.
Okay.
Not blood. Definitely not blood.
You get that waft of hot air again. As you guys kind of slow down for a second. The slurping sound, like I said, begins to diminish as they're not willing to follow. They're also much slower than you are. So.
10 back.
Hey. Thanks, parent.
It's not much, but you're welcome.
The general aspect of the air does get slightly colder, even with that warm air still kind of wafting through. You still feel a change in temperature that gives you the idea that you've probably lowered in elevation quite a bit. But as you continue to go down, you make a hard right turn, not paying attention, luckily not running into anything random or trap-worthy. You continue down into what is a much larger cavern. This one seemingly having many stalls, some tents that are in various states of disarray, lying around places, and a now that you're in it, very loud echoing that just seems to continue going.
Weird.
You don't see anything currently. As far as your vision goes, it's just blackness. It seems like the place is too tall and too far forward for you to see anything.
How far do dancing lights extend out, and how long do they last?
It's like 60 feet, and it lasts for a bit of time.
Yep.
And I'm assuming you just recast it whenever it falls. It is a cantrip, so.
Okay.
How far across is the cavern, Wheeler?
You don't know at this point. It's farther than your vision allows, which means it's more than 60 feet. But that kind of creaking sound with a heavy thud.
Honestly, that was what I needed to know.
Yeah, that creaking sound with a heavy thud is continuing. Zinnia and Brian, based off of your general perceptions, you gather that it is slowly getting closer to where you guys are.
Oh, I don't like that.
You can't tell generally from where, but the sound is getting like ever so increasing,
So
and the
whatever
ground
it
shakes a
is,
little bit.
It's moving. Well, I'm gonna say we keep going forward because we gotta get somewhere that's not right here.
Wheeler.
Yeah.
The hot air that keeps hitting us, is it just the feeling of hot air, or is there like a faint smell associated with it?
It's just the feeling of hot air. There is that, like, the slight sulfurous smell that you got earlier does kind of waft with it. You're not sure if it's just pushing that smell to you or if it's coming from that air itself.
Next time I hit that smell, I'm gonna lean into Fenris and whisper that use his nose and follow the smell.
Okay.
Because he's got a cow nose.
Okay. Roll a d20 for me.
11.
Okay. He kind of just nods. You can feel his body move. But what are you guys doing as the sound is getting closer?
I'm gonna try and be stealthy.
Okay.
Yeah,
Everybody else.
Yeah.
I'm gonna do whatever the first person to do something does.
I'm gonna go ahead and cast Pass Without Trace so that we don't make as much noise.
Oh,
Okay.
Smart.
You go ahead and kind of draw that energy in low enough to where it's not hurting. It is painful though, and you gather that this is starting to take more of a toll on you. It's probably good that it's getting done now. But you gather the shadows to your companions and yourself, and you kind of sink into them. Fenris, you feel that waft again, and Fenris kind of perks up a little bit and then begins walking like off in a leftward direction, kind of almost if you think about where you headed, almost in a direct straight line path from where the door was when you first walked in. So like forward.
Okay.
If that makes sense. You had a couple twists and turns in there,
Yeah,
but
as he starts walking, I lean back in the saddle and sort of whisper talk like I'm very good at doing. Fenris is following the warm air smell.
that sound is still getting louder
But
with the direction that Fenris is going. And you now notice that this is very similar to some markets that you've been in. It's almost like whatever this area was probably the market or trade center for this area where people would come and hawk wares and do things with. You see, like I said, these stalls that are kind of just completely crushed or messed up. You notice it first. As you guys are slowly walking, you see what looks to be, as the sound is getting heavier, and all of you start to feel the ground beneath you kind of like shake with each thud. Ahead of you, you see what looks to be like two like low burning coals.
Right.
Just kind of scanning across back and forth. And growing larger as with the same sound, it is moving closer.
Wait.
What do you guys do?
We still can't see what it is, just the eyes.
No. You can see the eyes, and
The sound of it.
with the lights, it's too far off in the distance. It is just seemingly continuing to move. It doesn't seem to have noticed the lights, or if it did, it's not paying attention to them.
Can I try to shoot? How high is the ceiling?
You can't tell.
All right. In that case, can I try? Is it within 400 feet of us?
At this point, make a perception check.
Fuck. Okay, 15 plus 2 is 17.
Say it's right near the cusp, probably about 375, 380 feet.
That's fine. I'm going to grab one of my tinkered light crossbow bolts.
Okay.
And try to aim it like as high as possible so that it comes down on it from above.
Okay.
And if it's at the end of my range, it kind of has to do that arcing path anyway, otherwise it'll hit the ground first.
Okay. So you're trying to make an attack on it, but from above.
I just want to see what it is. If I can shoot past it, that'd be fine too.
Okay.
But like... and...
Roll a...
It's going to be with disadvantage.
Yes, roll an attack with disadvantage.
Can I use Rook as a bipod to...
To steady it?
Yeah, to cancel out my disadvantage. Can his help action?
I'll say yes, you can.
This is gonna...
So you kind of
roll really
station
bad
it on Rook and
okay.
take the shot.
14 plus... What the fuck is my plus? Plus 9.
Okay, you are not trying to hit it, though. You are trying to just shoot around it.
Past it if possible. I doubt it's moving that fast.
Okay. It's not. It's moving quite slow, actually. As you shoot it, you follow the light. You kind of close your eyes so you don't get that like interference where you can't see. As you follow along and it shoots off, all of you see as it kind of reaches its distance and the light hits. Standing probably, from what you can tell, anywhere between 10 and 14 feet tall. What looks to be a very, very rusted metal golem of some sort with a very rusty blade in its hand, just slowly meandering. And actually, as it shoots off past it, you kind of hear this horrible like screeching sound as like the pieces that are definitely rusted are just scraping against each other, and it kind of looks down at the bolt and then kind of turns its direction towards where you guys are and just begins to slowly walk.
Okay, time to go. We learned a lot. We loved it.
Fenris is
Education's
still
great, time to
moving.
go.
Like you've fallen back about 20 feet behind them as Fenris continues to move. He is on his path. But from where you saw it heading towards you, based off of where Fenris is going, unless you take a second to hide, it'll probably cross paths.
It's moving to intercept us, or it's moving to where we were?
This thing?
It's moving in the general direction of where you are. You notice that there's like a street path, and it's kind of following. And as you kind of look to where it is, you actually see there are heavy divots in the ground that look like
It takes the same path.
Takes the same path over and over and over again. Like whatever happened to this place, this thing was left here and it just kept doing its job and is just continuing to go.
So it's walking towards us right now.
Yes. It's not breaking its path. It's not like changing.
And the way Fenris is walking is right towards it.
Yes.
How far? We had to judge. How far away is it?
At this point, now that you guys are like taking a second to take everything in, it's probably about 350, 340 feet away from you. It's not very fast, and it's not like it's taking its time or like taking extra effort to get to you faster. And you're not sure if that's because it's rusted or if because it's just waiting or taking its time to slowly get to you.
Okay.
We're leaving, right?
I'm just gonna look back at everyone and just shrug.
Fenris is still moving. He was told to follow the smell, and he's still going.
I haven't told him to stop yet. I know. If no one does anything, the next probably 50 yards, I'm gonna take my torch and like wave it in the air to try and like get this thing's attention, and then I'm just gonna fucking yeet it to our right, like as hard as I can.
It's not a T-Rex. It doesn't respond to movement.
Too bad. I'm doing it anyway.
As you go the next few steps, it gets closer and you start to see the size of it. It's taller than you on Fenris, and broader than Fenris. And as you wave the light towards it, it kind of zones in right on where that light source is and you throw it, and it doesn't follow it, and it continues heading in your direction.
Told you.
This time, the steps kind of quicken slightly, as if it's taking its full movement now to like get closer. It's like
I'm gonna try something that I haven't done in a long while.
It's now only about 100 feet from you.
Cool. This range is 120 feet. I'm going to whip some reagents together into a little vial, shake it up a whole bunch, and yeet it, casting Dispel Magic at the thing, and I just want to see what it does.
Okay.
I'm hoping I can just EMP this guy into oblivion while we get past.
Okay. You throw some reagents at it.
I'm specifically casting Dispel Magic. I'm just flavoring it.
Roll a spell attack. Roll an Arcana check at disadvantage.
Okay. Alright, first one's an 18. Natural 18. Second one's a natural 19. So plus 8 for both of them, 26?
26? Okay. You throw it at it, and it arcs in the general direction of it, hitting it, and you watch that kind of wave of magic go over it. there's an aspect of it. You can sense that something about it has been like shut off, but it keeps moving. There seems to be some part of it that doesn't have a magical connection to it that allows it to actually still work. If that makes sense. This is...
Sure.
You had the right...
I didn't think I was actually going to be able to turn off a fucking golem.
Yeah, you had the right... You had a good concept with it, but this thing is... Imagine Rook, but like 30 prototypes before Rook. Like, this is mostly mechanical. There may have been some magic, and obviously there was to it, but it is mostly mechanical. So it continues to move towards you in the general direction. What do you guys do now that it's only about 80 feet away from you?
I'm gonna turn behind to everyone behind me and say, all right, listen, whatever the fuck Fenris is smelling, wherever that warm air is coming is directly behind this. I'm gonna bull charge this, try and knock it down, just run for beyond it. Unless anyone has a better fucking idea. I'm not hearing anything. All right, on the count of 3, run. 1, 2, 3, run. And I'm gonna take off at a dead gallop on Fenris with my shield out, directly for this fucking thing.
Okay, so
I'm gonna try and shove it down.
You don't have the torch. You're going for a charge, trample attack, or whatever it's called.
I don't know if it count like Fenris's might plus my might, just aiming for like dead center of gravity on this thing to try and shove it on its ass. Like I'm not trying to damage it, I'm trying to put it down.
It'll technically be Fenris. I will say make a strength check. I'll make it contested.
My strength, his strength. What are we doing?
We're going with Fenris's strength.
Fenris's strength. All right. Well, fuck me. That was a really good roll. 24.
24. Okay. Yeah. Even though this thing looks very tough, it is very slow to the roll. And as you are kind of training in on those beating eyes, I'm assuming the rest of you are running behind him and not just standing there. Just so I'm... Okay.
I
so
was
you're
probably
just
going to give him a second, too.
Okay.
I want to see how it pans out.
Okay.
I'm kidding. I'll be running.
Oh,
Okay.
I was already off. I was going.
Okay, so you guys run. Gideon's just sitting behind, seeing how
I'll
things
wait
go.
I'll wait for a second.
You hit it, and you guys hear this heavy, like... that echoes.
I'm like going back to basic training.
Yeah.
Jousting maneuver, like
that. Yeah, it echoes through this entire area, and it like reverberates back. It is loud, but you catch it off guard, and with the force of Fenris and some extra help from you, you manage to straining have it land on its back with a heavy thud. You guys actually, as you're running past this, feel it like shake the ground, and a couple pieces of stone from the ceiling begin to like fall off and kind of fall onto the ground. This thing is heavy, but it is on the ground. What do you do now?
cool. Once I shake the dust off of a full head-on collision, I'm gonna start running to wherever Fenris was taking us before.
Okay. As you run, it is going to try to swipe out against you.
He's also in the dark.
Actually, Fenris, I should say. Because Fenris
It goes
is...
against me.
Okay, so it goes against you.
I can make well, I can't remember what feat it was. Mounted combatant. I can make attacks targeted. Yep.
Ashley knows that one. Ashley's in the chat. She's watching.
Is she?
Yeah.
Hey, Ash. No, I don't think that'll hit, actually, because your AC is super high. It's an 18 to hit, though.
Does not hit.
Okay, so you just pull up your shield as you see this, like, heavy rusted sword just scrape against it. With a hit. Like, you're happy that you put your shield up because this thing, like, the hit is still going to leave a bruise on your arm. But you kind of kick into the flanks of Fenris, and he kind of moves a little bit faster. I will say, do you now move, or?
Yeah, I'm probably around behind everybody else.
Okay, so you begin to move.
Whatever feet.
Yeah, you watch as this thing's on the ground, and he begins moving, and it kind of like, still somewhat quickly, slashes out with the sword. By the time you guys are about 80 feet away from it, it's turned its direction around, but it is way too slow. Even trying to catch up with you guys, it hits a point where you hear those thuds kind of very quickly coming behind you, and then kind of slow down, and then turn the other way and begin to run back. So far, the blessing of this place, it seems, is that there's a lot of slow things, and it's very old, which is probably a good thing. Nonetheless, you continue forward to a hallway that doesn't have any writing on the side of it, but seems to start to be turned into what looks to be work stone, still heading in a downward direction. As you move further into this tunnel, following Fenris's nose, you guys come across a large set of double doors, very ornate, slightly tarnished, but still well kept, worked into a now fully worked stone tunnel that you guys are in. The doorways themselves have what seem to be faces of dwarven individuals, as well as some kind of filigree in script just written across. And there is a heavy plaque on the top that has some kind of scrawling on it in a language that... Does anyone speak Dwarvish?
Yes.
You do. You understand. Arcane laboratory.
Okay.
Ooh.
Guys, it's like a lab.
Bark, bark.
Gross. I'm more of a Doberman fan myself.
Hate both of you.
That one took me a second. Yeah, I definitely want to go into this laboratory.
Okay. Do you attempt to... I mean, the doors are ahead of you. What do you do?
I will phase through them, as is my God-given right. No, I'll check to see if they open.
You try to open it. It doesn't open. However, both of the dwarvish faces on the front kind of like and start to breathe out some kind of greenish smoke.
Well, I will breathe in return using my 1 per day gust of wind, and I will blow that fucking shit away.
Okay.
I will try to dissipate it.
Okay. Before you do, it does end up around the party. As a reaction, you can disperse it away, but it'll still kind of blow through the party slightly. So, it works. Everyone make a single Constitution saving throw for me.
Including me?
You would have it at advantage because of your ventilating lungs. True. And Rook does not need to make it.
16.
13.
Bro, thank God for advantage.
Unnatural 20.
Okay.
16.
Okay.
19.
Okay. That was with advantage?
Mine? Yeah, my other one was like a 10.
Kyron and Brian, you guys are fine. You kind of cough for a second, but it passes over very quickly. You, in order to do the gust of wind, have to take a deep breath in, and you end up getting some of it in your lungs.
That's fair.
Fenris does need to make one as well.
Okay.
brought this upon myself.
Yes.
He has
Not the baby.
Holding myself to blame.
He got a 20.
20. Fenris is fine as well. The three of you, though, begin to feel your bodies kind of like seize up and get like very
With a
stiff.
16?
Yeah,
Of this for me.
very stiff. You also notice that it's kind of hard to move your legs right now. As all of you are doing this, you're sitting there and you start to hear the mouths as you breathe out and the gust of wind does dissipate the smoke. The mouths kind of slowly begin to close, but at like an interval, you start to hear this like tick, 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 tick. And with each tick, it seems like the mouths slowly like close. Whatever this is, you'd gather might happen again. The three of you who failed, I need to make another Constitution saving throw. Not at advantage this time.
Let's get petrified!
I got a 21.
And I got a 16 plus
27.
4. 20 total.
Okay. Luckily, you guys take a moment to kind of resolve yourselves, get that Constitution that flows in your blood real nicely, kind of sifted, and you kind of, as you feel your legs kind of start to seize up, you kind of kick off of it, and those of you who weren't affected by this, you notice that there's like small bits of like pebbles and dust that kind of come off as they kick their legs.
Nice.
This bitch tried to petrify us.
The mouths are about halfway closed now, and you continue to hear this ticking sound. It's just like tick, 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 tick.
Boom. That's not a good song.
I
sing
am
that?
going to.
The Kinks?
How high up are the mouths, Wheeler?
The mouths aren't that high, actually. They're only about 4.5 feet off the ground.
Can we see into
Cool.
them?
I'm gonna ride over to it.
Yeah, you can
While
look
it's
into
still
them
closing?
with a small amount.
Take one of my hand axes
Seems to be a
and
small.
try and wedge it in there with the blade to keep it from closing.
Okay. Go ahead and make a. Dexterity. Actually, make a strength check at disadvantage.
At disadvantage, 21.
Okay. You manage to take one of your hand axes and shove the piece into the mouth, and you hear this like think, 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 ping, and the mouth just kind of drops open and kind of slams into the ground or into the bottom of the face and just sits. The other one is about 3/4 of the way up now, and it would be very hard for you to put a hand axe in there at all. As you do look into it, you see what looks to be like a small tubing of the same material that the door is made out of. And you get like the smallest glimpse of what looks to be like small little gears like winding with each click.
As it
Well, if he
breaks,
doesn't
I
have
look
time
at,
to jam something into it, then I
Gideon and
definitely don't
say-
either.
I look at Gideon and say, I am so good at breaking shit like this.
Yeah?
Yeah, you should probably never let me touch Rook.
Well, I mean, I didn't plan on it, but I definitely won't now. Mentally give Rook a note to just take a couple steps away.
Okay. Yeah, Rook's fine. But what do? The mouth now, the ticking stops and the mouth is closed.
Just on the one?
Just on the one,
Okay.
which is the right side.
The one that's jammed open, is it?
It's stopped. Whatever was trying to do, it seems like Astra broke it.
Okay.
They seem
That
to be
breaks it
made
so
of
good.
some kind of metal, I will say. Very. With the lights around you, they have a brass-ish tint to them. Tarnished, but like I said, still seemingly well kept.
Yeah, let's see. Do I have any more gunpowder left? Find out. I don't think I do. I'm out of black powder. There goes that idea.
Black powder, you say?
Yeah. And I didn't prepare
As
heat
you-
metal today either. I don't know. I got
I will.
nothing.
I will say, as you tried the door, it did seem to be locked.
Can I see a lock anywhere other than inside this mouth?
There's not a lock in the mouth. It's just like a small tube that seemed to be feeding whatever the smoke is out. The door has like a keyhole on it, but it's odd. It's very like mechanically. Because you look into it, it does not look like a normal lock. And as you pulled on like the ring to open the door, that click sound as you kind of pulled it was what kind of caused these mouths to open and spew out whatever the smoke was.
Okay, so new idea. What else is explosive that I have? That any of us have?
You said the doors are stone?
Doors are
Metal.
metal.
Oh, okay. Never mind.
Yeah, sorry, your stone shavy spells can't help us here. Unless they can get us around the doors.
I don't know if work stone is able to be worked to.
Oh, I was gonna go with transmute rock. Turns it into mud.
Yeah, let me make sure that, because I know work stone specifically is like a big thing in some of those spells where you can't do something with it.
I don't have that.
Gideon's just going to be fishing through all of his equipment to find anything he can use to destroy these doors once and for all.
But like, we also aren't sure if the
I'm just keeping watch
wall is
in
straight
case anything else
on the
is
other side of it.
trying to sneak up on us.
I
Okay,
have
Oh, that's a good idea.
incense.
make a perception check, Brian.
Fuck it, I'll use luck. It's a game. That was worse. That is. Hold on. Load. That is 15.
15. It's dark. You don't seem to notice anything. You still do get that. It's odd. This heavy set of double doors seems like really solid, but you're still getting that like warm gust as it comes through.
Even through the doors?
Yeah.
I have a miner's
Can I
pick.
just-
It might take us a minute, but
Can I just like, as they're trying to work at it, just like prep an Eldritch Blast for if some horrible betentacled creature comes bursting through when we open this thing?
Yeah. You prepare an Eldritch Blast.
Okay. Just like, I'm basically just like,
Yeah.
As I see him start to prepare a spell, I lean into him and say, "Have they tried knocking yet?"
Yes, I pulled on the ring. I
Wait, you pulled on the ring though, you didn't knock.
Do you want to come knock?
Sure?
Do it then.
I'm gonna knock on the door.
Okay. Nothing.
These people are not very polite.
Transmute rock will actually work because it's any non-magical rock. So if you wanted to do
This,
that, you're
this dead civilization needs some fucking
Let's just
manners.
fucking go around this door.
Yeah.
And then I will destroy the door from the backside.
Yeah, well, I will warn you guys that you'll want to get out of the way because it's gonna just turn to mud and just.
Yep.
So I'll walk to the area next to the door where it's all stone and cast my spell.
Okay. Make a wisdom save for me.
18.
18? Okay. It is very painful, but you do manage to get through the spell casting. Are you doing the side with the broken trap on it or the side with the... Okay.
Yeah.
So that's the same one with the lock on it. You turn the rock into mud, and you watch, all of you, as this very finely worked stone just kind of liquefies and turns into mud and just kind of sifts through the floor. There is a 40-foot cube. Holy shit, that's really big.
Yeah.
There is a large portion of the wall that is now just gone.
Can you not get it all the way around the doors? Like,
oh, just make the whole door like
sides, the doors just fall.
You could, if you wanted
Are you
to.
gonna try and take the doors with us?
Hell no.
Then why do I need to do that?
I just think it would be funny. I just want to see what happens.
Okay.
Me, not Gideon. Chris
Okay,
wants
so
to
you
see.
do just the whole door.
Go.
Okay, yeah, you guys back up. It's 120 foot range, so you can like back up as much as you want. You back up and you cast it, and the tunnel's not tall enough to not allow that to happen. So as you cast it, you do that, and you hear this, and there is this like draft of splatters of mud, and you all kind of get like flapped in the face with mud pieces. But you're pretty sure the door's gone.
I'm also pretty sure we probably just attracted whatever might be down here.
Whatever. Grapes 1, dwarves 0.
Maybe. Just
Yeah, it's fine.
Shaw.
Did the doors fall one way, or with the faces up, or with the
Faces
side?
down.
What's the back side of the door look like?
Very similar to the front side. No faces this time. Where the lock is, there's this like intricate like metal piece that looks like it spins and turns and unlocks it.
Is it removable, or does it look even vaguely removable?
No, it looks like it's built into the door.
I'm gonna destroy it.
Okay. How?
Where's the closest 5-pound or less boulder?
Not around you.
Is there okay?
Asher's head.
This is
Yeah.
work stone. And some of it just turned to mud. So there is a like perfectly cube-sized like indent in this wall. You also notice as they fall,
That's fair.
they're about a foot thick.
It gets to live another day.
Like these are hefty doors. And all of you, based off of your knowledge of what Gideon does, are like, yeah, that's probably a good thing. But as you walk into this room, which is also work stone, you see a lot. The room kind of slightly brightens, almost as if entering the door does that. Unfortunately, there's no door there, so it just activates.
Motion sensors.
Yeah. There are various arcane workstations within this slab. Not only that, but mechanical workstations. There seems to be the small aspect of like a mini forge where some metals are probably were probably being worked to fit into a better mold. There's a lot in here. You also notice on the backside of the wall another one of these 12-foot tall metal creatures, just kind of currently recessed into the wall slightly. However, what you start to notice is that there's like this like pressurized air.
I just feel like we're straight up in a Skyrim dungeon, and these are just the fucking like dwarven colossuses.
Yeah, basically.
Yeah,
Except I don't remember there being black puddings in Skyrim,
where
and I
everything's
really
like
wish there
gold.
were.
I'm telling you, we need to no clip through the wall and grab the flower, and then we'll be good.
As you guys
here.
as you guys enter into the room a little bit more, you do see what seems to be a not well kept, and you're not quite sure what it is, but it's about 7 feet long. Some kind of creature that's like dried out and very much desiccated on one of these stations, seemingly had been dissected and split open. There is what looks to be some kind of large boulder-like. It looks like it's been chiseled and worked on, but it's this large just mass right next to it, and a few vials that are still quite good next to some metal and a lot of metal scraps.
All right. Am I the only one who's like interested in looking around in here? Do we want to go? I don't want to go, but like.
I don't think I'd really.
I want to go look at this body.
Okay, cool. I just wanted to make sure I'm not the only one who's interested in being in here.
Yeah, no, I'm already walking over to the body.
Okay.
I'm gonna go start poking at the thing in the wall.
I'm gonna just.
The big thing?
Yeah, I'm gonna go follow Kyron.
I'm gonna just keep a lookout. Brian's a paranoid motherfucker.
Okay.
And he's like, when are we gonna get attacked? When are
This looks suspiciously like the place we want to be, so I'm gonna just hang with Kyron.
There's another door on the other side that seems to be closed at this point as well. It doesn't seem as intricate as the door that you guys just walked through. In fact, it seems still made of metal, but less worrisome. Like, whatever's on the other side of it seemingly is okay coming into this area, whereas the other doors were definitely meant to keep people out. You're keeping lookout. What are you doing, Asher?
Following Kyron, but I'm also looking around. Is there any like are there books or like tomes or research notes or anything here?
Make an investigation check.
Asher knows enough that this looks like a research facility just from like looking in Gideon's workshop and helping him on stuff.
Yeah.
Plus,
He doesn't know anything beyond that.
You guys go over to Zinni. Are you following them to go look at whatever this thing is?
Body.
Okay. All of you can make
What check did you
investigation
want?
check. You're making an investigation check. Actually, scrap that. You're making a nature check. The three of you, not Ben.
I am?
No, Asher, you're making an investigation check. Sorry, there's like 6 things going on right now.
24.
16 on my investigation check.
Okay. There are tomes and things about. A lot of them are written in a language you don't understand.
I'm gonna stand on Rook to help me get a higher thing and give myself advantage because that was god awful.
Okay. I will let it happen.
Oh, so much better.
What am I rolling?
Nature check.
Okay. That's an 18.
18. 23.
It was gonna be.
Kyron, you don't know what this is. You're looking at like the body of it, and it just looks gross. It smells really bad. And
Nice.
is just opened. It looks like a science project. It looks like someone was dissecting it and trying to figure something out about it.
Is it bipedal, quadrupedal?
Do I discern any body parts?
No, that's the weird part. You don't. You guys discern it doesn't have any legs. But it does have, now seemingly detached from the body, probably about 8 like things that were held up in places, still being held, but like fleshy blobs that are just kind of melting out of the hooks that they're in, that seem to have been connected to the body at some point and just kind of are now against it. You, Zinnia,
this is.
also look at it. And you're kind of looking over at the big boulder-like thing and looking at this and looking at the boulder-like thing. And for some reason, it just kind of like snaps in your head. Like you just have this like thought. You're like, wait, I've seen something like this before. I've never seen one this big. But like, this is a snail of some kind. Chris just went and choked on his food. As that happens, the sound of that high pressurized air kind of like puffs off. And you're looking at the corpse thing too. You're not looking at the big thing, right?
Big Chungus.
You're looking at Big Chungus.
I'm up on the wall.
So you're not looking at it. So 23.
Investigation. That's why I didn't roll nature.
It looks like the same creature from before. This one looks better kept.
Yeah. Go
And as that pressurized air stops, it's still standing still. It doesn't have any of the glowing eyes or anything. But you hear this like, it sounds like metal on metal. Like, and then this like, Brian, are you standing at a doorway?
Hey, bud, that's not what metal on metal sounds like.
Thank you. I'm not very good with sound effects. Brian, are you standing at the doorway?
I'm not going to metagame. Sure.
Okay. Kind of keeping an eye out, I'll say not in the doorway where the mud is, but kind of maybe like 10, 15 feet back. This like large metal ball falls in front of you. And anyone who's looking on the other side, there's another one that falls on the other side.
What the fuck are the dimensions of this room?
Do you want to see it?
Oh, god damn it.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes?
You had to fucking ask.
Give me 1 second. Because it's not this room.
I ruin everything.
Oh, we almost at break time, bud. I need to use the restroom.
Me too.
Do we want to take a quick quick
yeah, you know
thing
what?
while we get set up?
Give me 1 second. So
and then
as
we'll switch the music when we come back to it.
yeah, as this happens, and you guys all hear this heavy metal hit stone. Brian, being the closest to one of them, you look at it and you see it kind of like separate into pieces, and there's like one central like inner red. Maybe it's a crystal. You're not quite sure, but it's giving off some sort of light, and you can feel it kind of like look over you. And with your perception, the metal has this like weird prismatic sheen to it.
Oh, fuck.
And as it does, kind of looks over you, you kind of pause for a second, like waiting for something to happen, and it kind of closes, and the other one also closes, and you hear this like almost like an engine starting. And then both of them at the same time, the one that you see, about 8 bladed arms just kind of sink out of it, and it just starts rolling towards you, kind of trying to stab at you. And that's where we're going to take a break.
God damn it.
This is where I die.
So, we will be right back. The map will be available as soon as we get back. Thanks for sticking with us at so far. We'll be right back. Welcome back, everyone. All right, so last we left off, you guys made your way into this arcane laboratory of some kind, and have these large metal balls fall from the ceiling and start whirling blades and coming after you. So let's make sure that I have everything set. Make sure that I got this view and everything. Had to get this tripod today. Make sure that it's gonna see everything. This is a very big map.
Let me see if there's something we can show.
Okay, we're just gonna have to scan across it because this is a large map. That's decent.
That's
That's good. I like that. All right, so I need everyone to go ahead and roll that good old initiative for me.
Bubba says hi.
Please.
Yeah.
I got a 10, my dude.
The nice jank.
Oh, yeah, go ahead and put it on there. I'll let you know. Chris is going to be moving the stuff for me. Just bear with us. Oh, actually, that's pretty good. Don't look at the rest of this room. It's disgusting. That's a little bit too much.
I rolled a 12.
A little higher. And then...
Oh, sorry. I'm looking at it on Kimmy's stream instead of on yours.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, no, my stream's like 10
All right,
seconds.
perfect.
Okay.
Right there.
Okay.
That gets most of the room in. And let me see if I can get this. Ah, look at that. You guys can now see the map. It's a little small, but that's okay.
Hey.
Just click on my thing and you can see it. All right, so I need initiatives from everyone as I start the battle music. It's almost like we've done this before. Ha ha ha.
25, bitches.
12.
I'm gonna
Eight.
marker us out just so we can tell
10.
this too, 'cause it's impossible.
20, 25, 12. What did you get, Ashter?
10.
10. Zinnia, 8.
Oh boy.
Gideon,
16.
16. I'm a grandmother.
Grandmother.
All right, so up first in the initiative order is Brian.
Do me a favor, bud. Before we start this, point to where I am, just because I have a hard time telling the mini.
You're the big mini with Fenris. Kimmy just pointed to you.
Also,
Cool.
it's very blurry, so where am I?
Let me see if I can fix that, actually.
I'm going to guess I am the one in the doorway.
Yes, there is a set of doors that is on the opposite side. That's the doors that lead away. The one that doesn't have a doorway, ironically, is the one that doesn't have doors. So, give me 1 second. Let me see if I can fix. Ah, it just switched you guys off. That's okay.
Oop.
That makes it worse. Okay, that's as focused as it's going to get, unfortunately. That's just how we're going to have to work with it for now. So, Brian, you are...
Oh, it's just blurry because my internet is bad, not
okay.
because
My
of...
bad. You are that one. What would you like to do? Seeing as you are up first with your 25.
All right. If I get out of the way of this thing, is this thing going to attack me?
It is still about 10 feet away from you, so you're not quite sure. You've never seen something like this before.
All right. I'm going to just honestly, I'm gonna panic. I'm gonna take the dodge action, and I'm going to or no, is it dodge or disengage?
Disengage is to not get attacks of opportunity.
And then dodge is to have
Dodge
all
is
attacks
disadvantage
against you.
on attacks.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
this thing. This thing just popped up in front of me. I'm going to. No, you know what? I'm going to just go. No, I'm gonna take the dodge action.
Okay.
I'm going to. Yeah.
And then you're gonna move.
I'm gonna try to get into the corner, around where other people are.
Okay, so. You get right on Fenris's ass.
Right on his ass.
Yep. Is that the end of your turn?
Yeah.
Okay. So, I'll say, rest of the dwarven forge on the ground. I will say that you move over towards behind Fenris and then take the dodge action. So that way, oh wait, you guys can't see what this is. I'll sit down. You take the dodge action then, so that way you're ready for whatever's coming your way. Bonus action, anything?
I'm gonna inspire my good buddy Kyron. Be like, Kyron, we got trouble. Kill it. Do what you know how to do.
Okay.
Okay. All right. The end of your turn. Now it is the first one's turn. It is going to very quickly roll over to your general area, to the two of you, because it's focused on you at the moment. As it does that, you hear this like whirring sound that sounds like pieces of metal just like scrapping within whatever this ball is, and you watch as it kind of jettisons open at all angles, and you see that there's a lot of angles that this thing has where there are blades and gears whirring inside of it, and then just blasts out like loose nuts, bolts, any pieces of metal, just all towards you and, well, just you, Fenris, and Ashter. So I need all three of you to make a dexterity saving throw for me.
Why'd you have to come to me? Is a 20 for me, and Fenris has advantage, and a 10 for Fenris.
Okay. Okay, and Brian, what did you roll?
Oh, sorry, Dex.
Yeah,
16.
16. Okay. You succeed, and Astra, you succeed. So both of you only take 12 points of piercing damage. Fenris, however, takes 24. Actually, no, because he has evasion because of your thing, so he also takes 12. Because he failed, but he takes half damage. So all of you take 12 points of piercing damage, and just releases a jettison of like jagged metal pieces in your general direction. You now see that there are pieces just kind of jutting out of the stonework behind you, and there are pieces that kind of are sticking into your body that you kind of have to like pull out. And now it's just kind of like those blades around it are just kind of spinning and whirling around it. However, that is the end of its turn. So with that, Gideon, you are now up.
Great.
The first thing you notice is that there is starting to be that pressurized air around the large metal being in front of you. You make a free action intelligence check.
No specific skill on top of it?
Nope, just intelligence.
Great. It's a 10.
Okay. You're not quite sure what it means.
Sure.
Okay. What do? There are these large balls of metal with whirling blades just
The room is a
around your
little
friends.
too small for my initial idea. So as per usual, Rook has my spell storing item.
Yes.
He has the rod of a million catapults.
Yeah.
So bonus action, I am commanding him to use that, or not commanding, but I'm having him
Use it.
do his thing.
Okay.
It's going to be against the one that is macking up on the boys.
Okay.
And then for me, I am going to... I'm going to fireball the other one, because it's by itself.
Okay.
So I'll... Kimmy, do you have D6s? Wait, hold on. Wheeler has these D6s up here.
Oh. Give me 1 second.
Yeah, for once I don't have all of my dice out.
Yeah, I know.
Unbelievable.
Do you
not like this game,
No, I got these amazing sprinkle ones for Christmas.
Oh, I also just got a new set. All right, so you catapult the one and fireball the other.
Yep.
Okay.
It's a Dex save DC 16 for the fireball boy, and then same for the other one.
Okay. Fails on the catapult. What's the save again?
Dex 16.
Okay.
Okay, so 10, 20, 27 total damage for fireball. And what is third level?
Well, yeah. Give me the catapult one.
Oh, I don't have catapult as one of my prepared spells, so it's not on my list. Oh, it's 48. I don't have D8s.
Okay.
4. I'm 7 to 16. 18 total damage for catapult.
Okay. So you said 24 for the fireball or 26?
Somebody in chat, tell me what I said. I forgot already.
And then 18 for the catapult?
Yes, 18 for catapult. It is 27 for fireball.
27. Okay. So
Yeah, I haven't moved the dice, so they're still there.
Okay. So they both seem to take effect. The catapult, being of a magical nature, does seem to kind of pierce the metal shell of whatever this construct is a little better than, maybe you would have thought it would. And the fireball does seem to have an effect. It's lessened. It seems to have moved slightly out of the way of it and kind of shifts around. And now kind of centers its attention on you being the person who cast. So,
Fucking right.
is that the end of your turn? Bonus action. Are you gonna move?
You?
You're just gonna stay there?
Yeah, I'm at least facing in the directions that we
Yeah.
been doing
So
stuff.
Rook faces the other one. You face that one. Okay. The end of your turn, the second one is up. It is going to. Come up right on. It kind of just rolls very quickly in your general direction, and gets up to you with relative ease. And is going to make a couple of attacks against you. Actually,
Rook can't deflect these because he has to be next to the attacking thing too.
yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah, you know what? Actually, it's going to as you hear this like sound of metal scraping and kind of blast out, you hear this whirring again, and it kind of jettisons open and sprays you and Rook with just a massing of metal pieces and like nuts and bolts and all manner of jagged pieces of metal. I need both of you to make dexterity saving throws for me.
All right. For me, it is a natural 20, and for Rook, it is a 15.
Okay. You both succeed. Wow, that's a lot of twos. Like 5 twos. You both take 7 points of piercing damage. As you kind of like, you take your like heavy cloak that you have just generally, because I'm assuming you have like a heavy leather cloak, and you kind of like cover you and Rook. It still pierces through a little bit, but you guys shrug off the brunt of the force. That's the end of its turn. It is now
gonna be mending afterwards, I can tell.
Okay. It is now Kyron's turn with Astra on deck. What are you doing? You are back here currently.
Yeah, I guess I will guiding bolt the closest one.
Okay, that's the one on Gideon and Rook.
Okay.
Make
Sorry,
the roll
I
at
left the
disadvantage.
app for, okay. Oh, and it's 4th level.
Okay.
That's not great. That's also not great. 19.
Not great, but a 19. Yeah, that still hits.
I rolled a 10.
You still have a +9. Go ahead and roll your damage.
Okay. Let me find a bunch of d6s. Give me a second. I should have been prepared for this, and I was not. Fine. Okay. Wait. Seven d6. Okay. That's 23 points of damage.
23 points of damage, not bad. As you reach your holy symbol and kind of thrust it out, you see that blackish energy of the Raven Queen kind of filter through you and shoot towards whatever this construct is, and does some hefty damage, and is now shrouded in this kind of light shadow-esque energy. Next attack on it does have advantage. It seems to take the hit, and that's it. It doesn't seem to have dampened it in any way, shape, or form.
Nice.
You doing anything with your bonus action?
I'll move closer to the door.
The one that's mud or the one that's closed?
The one that's mud.
Okay. Get about there. Alrighty. That's the end of your turn. Astra, you're up. At the top of your turn, you and Fenris take 1 point of slashing damage as the blades from this thing that are just whirring around just slam against you, too quick for you to do anything about it.
Cool. How far away are we from Gideon in the other one?
You're about 40 feet, 45 feet.
If I move to the other side of Brian, would I be within 30 feet?
Yeah, you would have half movement for a second, but you'd be within 30 feet, yeah.
Cool, move me there, please.
Okay.
First things first,
I'm the realist.
I'm going to look down at my holy symbol and clutch it in my hand and say a tiny little prayer. And then I'm going to cast Bless on me, Brian, and Gideon.
Okay. It tries to swipe out against you, but it misses. Because technically you do leave its range. But you...
Cool.
So Gideon, Brian, and Ashter are all blessed as you feel this warm blue light kind of filter over you. You feel the blessing of whatever deity is watching over Ashter.
How many targets can you do total?
3 with his level. All right, so that's your action. You do anything with your bonus action?
Yes, bonus action. I'm gonna do something I've been waiting to do for a long time because it's gonna look really fucking cool. I'm going to channel divinity and issue a champion challenge, boy.
Okay. Remind me.
Hold on, I'm looking for it, and then I will read it for you. Class materials. Problem with multi-classings, everything's all at the bottom. Alright, champion challenge. As a bonus action, you issue a challenge that compels other creatures to do battle with you. Each creature of your choice that you can see within 30 feet must make a wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, the creature can't willingly move more than 30 feet away from you. This effect ends on the creature if you are incapacitated or die, or if the creature is more than 30 feet away from you.
Okay, give me 1 second.
So I'm targeting the boy on Brian, the boy on Gideon, and because it looks like the one that we rammed earlier, the one on the wall too, because
Okay.
I don't know if it's in the fight or not.
I just want to double check something real quick. I don't remember if we counted this as a charm, because I think that it is. But I want to double check just to make sure. Man, it's taking forever to load. But that's probably because I'm doing like 600 things. Alright, as a paladin, you have your Channel Divinity Champion Challenge.
Does not say anywhere in there that it's a charm.
Yeah. Let me just make sure of something real quick. This is hard. I'm going to say you attempt it and it doesn't work. There are specific things inside this specific creature that would make it stacks against your favor. If it would have been in a different light, I would have let it happen, but there's a couple things that I'm not quite sure about. And specifically how it's worded, I would have it that it wouldn't understand your challenge. So I'm going to say it doesn't work.
Man.
Oh, I also did not realize this. 1 second.
It doesn't say anything about language in there.
Yeah, there's just a couple.
He makes a good point.
Yeah, there's a couple things again that are stacking against it. That's why I'm saying that it's not gonna work. That's it. I would allow it if there was only one thing against it, but there's a couple things that I'm not 100% certain on, and I don't know the specific verbiage of it. That's the only reason I'm saying it won't work. I'll let you keep the Channel Divinity, since technically it wouldn't have affected it. So you can keep it, but I'll say that it won't work.
Hey, David, I need you to do me a favor.
And kill Wheeler.
Remind me to wear a cup for our next session, because Wheeler's busting my balls right now.
I also
He's busting my balls, man.
didn't read this correctly. Your fireball did nothing to this.
Yeah, that's... I really thought that there was going to be something coming up. That's why I tried Fireball first.
I am working with a million things right now, so I'm trying my best. But
It's all good.
I appreciate your patience,
Okay.
and Ben,
Well-
I promise I will not bust your balls as hard moving forward.
I should probably mark off that spell I used.
All right, so
Man, my stomach really hurts from all the ball busting I'm getting right now.
you attempted a Channel Divinity. You going to do anything else with your movement? You're muted because you're not pushing to talk.
Sorry. I'm gonna move back closer to Brian and try and be next to him to intercept this thing's attacks.
Okay, so you just move back. You move out of its
Yeah,
space and then back.
I'm going to willingly get closer to the spinning blades in an effort to try
I'm
and
surprised that's working
stand
as well.
between
Okay.
it and Brian.
That is the end of your turn. Zinnia, you are up. Brian, you're on deck.
Okay. I'm going to move closer to one attacking Gideon
How far?
It's like half across the room.
That's probably only all you can move anyway.
Yeah.
30.
So
It is just within 30 feet.
haha. What is she gonna go with? A light.
Okay. Con save.
16.
Yes, 16.
16. Remember, my thing is wrong.
Yeah, the thing is always wrong.
Math.
Group them together by ones that add up to.
Oh my
stuff.
goodness. Why are you doing that? Okay. So you cast it. It succeeds. You watch as that energy hits it and then reflects off of its metal shell right back at you. I need you to make a Constitution save
Against your own DC.
against your own DC.
I fucking fail!
Okay,
Flash of
so
genius, you get a +4.
Okay.
you succeed.
Yeah.
All right, you take. It's half damage on that blight. So,
15.
it's what?
15.
Okay, so you take 15 points of necrotic damage as you cast a spell, seemingly hoping that it would affect it, and then there's that weird prismatic shimmer, and it reflects off of it straight back at you, and you feel the blight take hold in you, but you kind of force it off as Gideon's kind of like looking at you and like starting to kind of piece together something. He's not quite sure what's going on because he didn't see the...
I'm doing the beautiful mind math
Yeah,
in my head.
But, you do anything with your bonus action?
Oh no.
No, not right now.
Okay. So that is the end of your turn. Top of the round, Brian, you're up. At the start of your turn, you take 2 points of slashing damage as these blades just are whirling into you.
Hooray! Did I see that magical mishap happen?
Because Asher is covering you from Zinnia's perspective, like from where Zinnia is, no.
Again, I tell myself I'm not going to metagame and I'm going to Eldritch Blast the one in front of me.
Okay, roll them at disadvantage, please.
Brian, I'm helping.
Hey. Disadvantage. That is 12,
Okay.
a 15, and a nat 1.
Okay. So I don't know how this would work.
What?
I need Asher, Fenris, and you to make a con save for me. As you blast into it with one of them, the construct just like explodes with the same eldritch energy out, hitting the two of you, the wall, and nearly hitting Rook. So go ahead and both of you make a con save for me. It's a d6 per the spell level, but it's a cantrip. So would it just be one?
No.
Or would I base it off of what level technically his caster level is?
No, it. Per spell level?
Yeah.
So it's a 0, so that's just the lowest you can go.
Yeah, so it's not a lot, luckily, but okay, so 12. Astor, what'd you roll?
I don't know what you're looking at, so I can't really efficiently.
I think you're muted. I couldn't hear you.
21 for me, 15 for Fenris.
Okay, Fenris and you both
Don't forget, you're a blessed, David.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
What do I add?
D4.
So instead of a 12, it's a 14.
Okay, still unfortunately fails. You take 4 points of force damage. Fenris and Asher, you both take 2. The second one,
Come on, give it to me, Wheeler. You know
what's your spell attack modifier? Brian.
My spell attack modifier.
Oh, the second Eldritch Blast.
But it's plus
Okay.
my spell attack modifier.
Yeah.
It's +9.
Does it? Okay, so a 20 definitely hits your armor class. You take an additional 6 points of force damage as the Eldritch Blast is reflected back towards you. And the third one just dissipates off of, it hits and then just kind of melts into energy across it, doing no damage. But it basically went.
I'm sorry, what was the first thing of damage? I took the additional.
So it was 4 damage for the first as it blew out this energy. The second one reflected back against you, took an extra 6 points of force damage, and then the last one just dissipated against it.
So 10 total.
Got it.
Okay. Bonus action or movement?
You're seriously not going to try and move away from the spinning ball of death?
Bonus action.
What a
Yeah,
face to
I
freeze
guess
on.
I'll try to run. I know I'm gonna get hit, but at the very least, I'm gonna try to get my way out of there and press myself up against the wall or something.
Okay. It is going to take an attack of opportunity against you. Which d20 do you use? I'll use the metal one. Why not? That is an 18 to hit.
That hits.
Okay. It's just gonna slash out against you, with its arm blade. You take.
Wait, can I use my reaction on its reaction?
I mean, yeah, it's a reaction to a reaction, so.
Cool. Give me a minute. D8.
Can you do it on
Out of
opportunity
40 or
attacks? I
AC,
think it's just
still hit?
an attack.
Doesn't an opportunity attack is still an attack.
An attack, yeah.
It's in the name.
Brian, does that
If you add a 4 to your DC, does it still hit?
What?
If you add a 4 to your DC, does it still hit?
That makes it a 20. So.
Still hits.
So no, it wouldn't hit because it was an 18 to hit.
Oh, the 20 was earlier.
Cool.
Yeah.
I'm going to.
So you sacrifice your reaction,
I'm going to,
but
ward it.
okay. So you sacrifice your reaction, but you do get your shield in time just as the blade is about to hit Brian. You kind of slam it down. It ting with a loud, resounding hit. That's the end of your turn, Brian. It is now numero uno's turn. He does not get his thing back.
I don't like that.
So it's just gonna turn towards you, Aster, and make an attack.
Love it.
Oh, actually, it's gonna make an attack against Brian and an attack against you.
Bitch.
The attack against you absolutely misses. It tries to slam on you with one of its arm blades and just misses. And then you watch as one of the arm blades kind of centers into a point and just jettisons off towards where Brian is against the wall.
Uh-oh.
That's a 27 to hit. Which I'm assuming hits Brian.
There's no warding that one. Sorry, bud.
What the fuck, Wheeler?
You take 14 points of piercing damage and are knocked prone against the wall. As this speared arm just launches into you. It is then going to move. Whoop. You're not dead, don't worry. It is then going to... Jesus. So many markers. It is then going to move towards Kyron. Actually, move in... No, yeah, move towards Kyron. Ben, you can get an attack of opportunity. It's at disadvantage, though.
I don't have my reaction anymore, bud.
Oh, that's right. Never mind. So it's just right next to Kyron now. All right, end of its turn. Gideon, you're up.
I'm gonna cast... I haven't learned my lesson about spells yet, so I'm gonna try to cast Levitate on the homie in front of me. I'm just gonna toss a pair of magnets on either side of it as they whir up. I'm really hoping it doesn't fucking...
What's the save on that?
Wisdom, I think. Let me get back to it. Levitate is con.
Constitution, okay.
DC 16, like usual.
Good. That is a 17.
Fucking.
Oh, make the con save for me.
It's fine if I levitate. Yeah, I levitate myself. Okay. That's fine.
So you cast it at
I
it,
might say it's
and
actually
then
maybe a little helpful.
yeah, you cast it at it, and then you start floating.
It
You're
throws
like,
down the Uno reverse card
Yeah.
at me.
Ha!
This is what you
I
call
gotta
a
find a
win-win, kids.
That's my action. Bonus action, Rook's gonna catapult the boy again.
The one that's against Kyron, or that one?
The one against me.
Okay.
Um,
Dex save.
yeah, DC 16.
Okay. That was a 20.
Okay, so we'll take half.
What spell level is that? Third level?
Yeah.
Okay, as the catapult hits it with whatever piece that you have, there's like this ding and it kind of reverberates and then blasts off of it.
Fuck off.
You, Zinnia, and Rook need to make dexterity saving throws for me.
Me?
Yes.
I'm 20 feet in the air.
Yes.
Okay, fuck you then. That's a nat 1. The total damage was 16 when I rolled it. Not that probably
Zinnia?
matters.
And what was Rook's roll?
Trying to find a thing to raise myself in the air, Wheeler. Stop making me roll things. Not above a 16.
8.
Okay. All of you take 8 points of force damage as it just explodes out with energy. Oh, I have like... is that the end of your turn?
I don't have any movement left, as far as I
Well,
know.
you're also in the air. You can't move.
Unless I push against things. How high is the ceiling?
It's about 35, 40 feet in the air.
Well, so I'm not there.
No, you're one up.
I already used my action, I used my bonus. That's it for me.
Okay. The end of your turn, the second one's going to go... Oh, also, you guys started your turn right near it. Well, you did, so you take 3 points of slashing damage before you cast a spell.
I'll take 8 or 11.
Yeah. All right, second one is up. It is... Well, let's first see... Oh, it does. Okay. Number 2 is up. Now that you're in the air and it can't hit you and Rook doesn't seem to be too much of a problem, it's going to whirl over to... It's going to whirl over to you, Zinnia. And it's going to make an attack against you. That is a 25 to hit?
Yep.
Okay. You take... $20 points of slashing damage. And then as that happens, you watch as one of its arms kind of goes back and seems like it's rearing up for an attack, and then just straightens out and shoots off towards Gideon in the air. That's a 25 to hit.
Yeah.
You take 9 points of piercing damage, and I don't think you can get knocked prone because you're levitating.
No, but I can have my concentration knocked out.
Yeah. So go ahead and roll.
Said it was 9 damage total?
Yeah, so you only have to roll 10. Kyron, you're on deck.
You're blessed.
I rolled a nat 16. I'm good.
All right, that is the end of its turn. Kyron, you're up with Astra on deck. What are you doing?
All right, I'm gonna say, fuck it. And despite my better judgment, I'm gonna pull out my axe and cast Holy Weapon
Okay, on your axe.
on it.
So you cast Holy Weapon on your axe. You take your holy symbol and kind of wrap it around it for a second. You watch as the cold starts to kind of drift off of it. That like icy texture almost solidifies into these like dark icicles on the end, and it starts to like glow with this like shadowy essence coming off of it. And it is cold to the touch, but you don't mind it at all. But it is now a holy weapon within your grasp.
And I'm going to attack.
Okay.
Attack.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. That was great. That's a 19.
Okay. 19 hits. Go and roll your damage.
This, and then an extra of this. If I can find another one. Okay. Okay. I'm technically holding my shield, so it's just a D8, right?
Yeah, it's just a D8. I always assume you're holding your shield, and as you go, I drop my shield and I do two-handed.
Yeah, no, I'm not for that. That's not.
What, you don't want to take the -3 to your AC?
No, I'd rather not. That's 21 damage.
21 of radiant ice and badassery as you just rake across the front of this thing, which is pretty impressive. It sparks and you see it just slash through it. There is now a sizable gash in a piece of the metal that's just kind of slightly indented in. It's still looking fine, but that whole hit, you can definitely tell it's like trying to figure out what just happened to it. That was a hefty hit.
Nice.
That is the... You doing anything in your bonus action? Or are you going to move?
No.
You're just going to stay there?
Well, my bonus action was casting the...
Oh, that's right. So you're going to move?
No.
Okay.
I'm going to stay in its range.
So you stay right there within its
Out of
range.
its range.
And just kind of hold it and just start twirling your axe, just kind of grinning at it. That's the end of your turn. Astra, you are up. Zinnia, you're on deck.
I'll yell, can we have some help here for the both of us who are now alone with these things?
Yeah.
I'm working on it.
Gideon's like twirling in the air like, I'm working on it.
Would Astra be smart enough to figure out that if Champion Challenge didn't work, Compelled Duel probably wouldn't work either?
Roll your good old intelligence check.
15. Yes, you would. Thank you, buddy. All right. Well, since you spent the past 6 seconds really puzzling that one out, I'm going to run over to the one that just beelined for Zinnia.
Okay.
And kind of do the same thing I did to the Goliath in the other room and just sort of like ram it.
Yeah, you have more than enough room on Fenris. Go ahead and roll that attack.
Yeah, I'm just gonna fucking charge it.
Okay.
It is
I
gore attack. Take an extra 2d8 piercing.
Yeah.
Okay, charge. Move at least 20 feet.
You did move at least 20 feet.
Okay.
Also, Kyron, you took 1 point of slashing damage. I
Cool.
keep forgetting to do it because it's at the start of the turn.
Does a 19 hit?
19 does hit.
Cool. It is 4d8 plus 5.
Go for it.
4.
Zinnia, you're on deck.
That's 26.
Okay.
Piercing.
Okay.
And it has to make a DC 15 strength or be knocked prone.
Okay. I don't know how this quite works, but just make sure. All right. Strength check, you said?
Yep. 15.
No, it fails. So it is somehow, even though it's a ball, it's not prone.
Cool.
But
now that it's prone, I'm going.
You knock its inner gyrosphere out of whack.
yeah.
Cool. Now I'm going to use my action surge.
Okay.
Now that it's prone,
Go for it.
and swing at it twice with my weapon with advantage.
Go for it.
All right. 27 to hit,
That'll hit.
and what, a 19 hit?
Yes.
Cool.
It's already knocked
Takes
prone
an
though.
extra.
Yeah.
Oh shit! Hold on. I haven't attacked with advantage in a while. I need to look up this feat real quick.
It's if the lower one hits, it takes an extra, or it's knocked prone, I thought.
Yeah, lower hit. The target is knocked prone if the lower would hit. Yeah, but it's already prone.
It's already
Cool.
prone.
So 27 hits.
Yep.
And 28. Yeah, that's gonna hit too. All right, so
Give me that good old damage.
twice there. And that is 26 slashing damage.
26, and you slash. It's got nasty gashes in the side of it, and it is still looking okay, but you definitely did some damage to it. It's not as pristine as it once looked, but it is still fine. That was your
action. I'm going to second wind myself as
Okay.
well.
all right.
I haven't
That's your
used that
movement,
yet.
action, bonus action. That's the end of your turn. Zinni, you're up. Brian, you're on deck.
Ooh.
Okay, so
Excellent.
I'm gonna start. Oh yeah, I'm gonna start.
I'm next to
by-
Zinnia, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm gonna start by casting Shillelagh as my bonus action,
Okay.
and just hit it as hard as I can with my little quarterstaff.
Okay. Just
Yeah.
all right. Go for it.
7. Oh wait, no, I have to roll to hit. Never mind. That's a 19.
19 hits.
Okay, so it's a 7.
7 points. Okay. You whack it with your stick.
I got too excited.
Is that it?
That's it.
That's it. Okay, cool. The end of your turn, top of the round. Brian, you are up. You are currently prone in a corner.
Alright, I've tried flinging this. I flung a spell at this thing and it did shit. So I'm going to instead, first off, get unprone.
Okay.
I'm going to. These things look like robots, right?
Yes, very much so.
Like constructs.
Yes, very
Okay,
much so.
So poison's probably not a good idea.
You would gather.
I'm going to. Yeah. I'm going to. I'm gonna chuck Stinger at it.
Okay. Go ahead and you're currently at. You're between. You're past your range to have a normal attack, so it'll be a disadvantage.
All right. Can I get any closer to it to give myself regular attacking?
With your movement, unfortunately, no, because you were prone. You would still be past the 20 feet that allows.
That's all right. I'll make a shitty throw.
Okay.
And that's a 15.
Okay. That does not hit, unfortunately.
Wait. Nope. Ability check or saving throw. Never mind. Go ahead.
Blessed.
Wait, aren't you? You're still blessed. Yeah.
Might add to that, yeah.
Blessed is attack rolls.
Okay, yeah, so go ahead and add to it.
I'm Celeste. I'm Celeste. Right. Whoop. That's 18.
18 just hits.
Yes. Okay, so with Stinger, that is. Does it do anything else? It's magic. That's pretty much it.
That's pretty much it. You get your good old D4 plus your dex bonus.
Stinger damage. That is. It is 7 points.
7 points of good old damage. All right. You chuck it, and Stinger's now sticking out of this construct. You doing anything with your bonus action?
Oh, I hit something with a weapon.
Yes.
I hit something with a weapon attack.
Yes.
You get to hex it?
Yes, I can do this. I don't know if I can yeah, I'm gonna hex it as a bonus action.
Okay.
So that gets 4 more damage.
Okay.
And I'm also going to use 1 use of my Bardic Inspiration to deal an extra 3d6 psychic damage.
Oh, that's right. You got the psychic blades.
I hope it takes psychic damage. So that's an extra 8 points of psychic damage.
If it took psychic damage.
Fuck!
You try to lash out with your bardic abilities, and it seems to have no effect on this construct. That is the end of your turn, though.
Still hexed.
Yes, it is still hexed. So, next in the initiative count is the first one. It's blinded. Hex is a weird, passive thing. It is hexed. It is going to make an attack against Kyron. Oh. And then is going to make an attack against Ashter. What'd you say?
I have my cloak on, so it's not.
It's disadvantage, yep. I don't think a 15 hits. So it slashes out at the one that's not you and slams into the ground on it, but you're in another place, and it's seemingly confused. You're not quite sure. It doesn't have a face. And then the one against Asher completely misses. You watch as the spear kind of launches off, and you just, at the last second, duck out of the way, and it slams into the wall on the opposite side, and then it pulls it back really quickly. It is just going to roll back this way towards Brian. You can make an attack of opportunity, Kyron. It'll be at disadvantage, though.
Are the AOs always a disadvantage for them?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. They just nimble.
And
Yeah.
That was actually an 18.
Yep, that'll hit. Just barely.
I have a +3, so yeah, okay. Oh, I rolled terribly though. Wait, no, I didn't. That's 17 points of damage.
17. It takes the full brunt. It's now starting to look slightly hurt. It's still doing good, but you've put some pretty heavy hits on it, and it's seemingly starting to kind of clink together a little bit. Still asserting its purpose, but still going. The end of your turn, the end of its turn, Gideon, you're up. You are currently floating in the air and spinning.
Fucking right I am. Yeah, I'm done casting spells at these folks. Of any kind. So, I'm gonna pull out Old Faithful and just load up 2 shots, pa-count, everybody going down.
Okay.
And Rook is also gonna go get up in the dude's face and do his force-empowered Ren He's
Okay.
specifically going to get within 5 feet of Marion.
Brian. Okay, so go ahead and
So I'll
make
do
the attack.
mine.
Are you dropping levitate?
No, I can keep concentrating on it.
Okay. Because you're technically spinning in the air right now because of the force of the spear. It's like making you turn.
Sure.
Okay. You'll have to time your shots.
Sure. Oof, not great.
It'll give them a slight bump to AC.
I'm really glad that I'm blessed because that first one was a 16 plus the bless of 2 becomes an 18. So I
Okay.
don't think that hits.
No, because of the boost of the AC, you shoot it off, and because you're turning, you just miscalculate the shot time off, and it just kind of whizzes past it, skirts across the side of it, and just hits the wall.
Cool. And then 13 plus 9 is a 22 for
That one will hit.
And that is a 9 plus 5, 14 piercing damage.
Okay.
I'm going to go ahead and arcane jolt on top of that, get an extra 2d6.
Okay.
I wish this wasn't once per turn. I would blow all of them. Wow, garbage dice. So that was only an additional 3.
Okay. And then the force empowered rend.
For Rook, ooh, natural 18.
That'll hit.
Plus whatever his thing is.
Go ahead and roll that damage.
D8 plus 2. Right. That's only a 5. 5 force damage.
5 force damage.
Yep, that's it.
All right. So they're both still looking okay, but that one that's against Brian and Rook definitely is looking kind of all right, at the end of your turn, the other one is going to take half its movement to get up. And is going to attempt a couple attacks on Ashter. It's actually going to try an arm blade against you first, and it misses. Stop using this dice. Try this one. And then it's going to attempt a spear attack against you, like just point blank right in front of your face. That's a natural 20. So
Is
I can't use my reaction.
yeah,
no, because
you have to be within 30 feet.
did the no,
Right,
because it was
I
attack
just
of opportunity, and they haven't gone yet. So yeah, luckily it's not too much damage. You only take 19 points of piercing damage, and you would be knocked prone, but I don't think you can while you're mounted. As part of
I cannot.
as part of mounted
I think
combatant.
that's- Yes.
Yeah. So you take a shot, and it nearly, like, unsaddles you off of Fenris. And if it weren't for the sheer power of your little tiny chicken legs, you would be currently on the ground prone. But somehow, by the might of some tendon or muscle inside your legs, you have held your ground, and the spear that is about 3 inches into your shoulder gets pulled out, and there's just like a gout of blood that kind of comes out with it.
Concentration check for bless.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
make
right.
it.
I haven't done these in a very long time. What is it?
It's
It's a con
a
save,
Constitution save. You have to roll a 10 or better. At the end of its turn,
Yeah,
Kyron, you're up.
I think I'm fine with my 26.
Yeah, you're fine. That's the end of its turn. Actually, no, yeah, it's gonna stay there. The end of its turn, Kyron, you're up.
How far away am I from the one that's right next to Brian?
That's next to Brian. You're about 50 feet.
Okay.
That's next to Ashter and Zinnia. You're about 30 feet away from it.
Okay. I guess I'll go up to that one. Then.
Alrighty.
Sorry,
Sure
guys.
thing there, bud. You run up
Okay,
over
far
to
away from you. That's a natural 20.
Let's go.
Feel it.
I cancel that natural 20. I'm just kidding.
So it's 21 times 2
42.
plus 3. So 40.
45. Nice. Good hit. Oh! I need you to make a wisdom saving throw for me.
Okay!
Big dick hit.
That's a, oh god. I'm fine, but let me double check. You said con, right?
Wisdom.
Wisdom. Okay.
You should be fine.
Oh no, I'm completely fine. I rolled an 18 plus.
Oh, yeah,
I'm
you're
okay.
fine. Okay,
I'm
you're fine.
No, I'm fine.
Heavy hit. This one is also now looking rough. There's this blinding Zinnia, Ashter, and Fenris, and you, Kyron. There is this blinding flash of light as this divinely inspired arc of this weapon slams into the side of this creature, and it just blinds you for a second. As you look back down, there's like not only an indent, but like a heavy gash where the axe has kind of gone in. And Kyron just kind of like sticks their foot on it as it's still whirling around, like nicking at their leg, and just kind of forces the axe back out of it and just stands there. And you're all just like,
I'm just like,
still twirling. You're like, yeah. Bonus action, Kyron, are you good?
Is it done?
No, it's still up.
Oh, well then why did I need to roll a con save?
Because you're crit.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
oh, that never happens.
I forgot that was part of that.
Yep.
Okay, I will just chill out then, I guess.
Okay. At the start of your turn, Ashter, you and Fenris both take 4 points of slashing damage.
Concentration.
Also, another Constitution save.
Did I take damage on my turn?
No, there wasn't one within 5 feet of you
Oh, right.
at the start of your turn.
I
Yeah.
literally need to roll a nat 1 for those 10s to not work.
Well, you need to roll a 10 because it's half the damage or 10 or above.
Yeah, I know.
He has a
but I
+9.
have a really high con.
Oh, okay, yeah,
Like a
go
+8
ahead.
or something
Roll.
Stupid.
You never know.
Okay, so the one in front of me is pretty fucking damaged.
Yes, they're both looking pretty distraught, but they seem to be fine at the moment.
Okay.
Still working, I should say.
Is anyone over by Brian when I turn around and look at the other one?
No, Brian. Well, Rook's by Brian. It's weird. There's like construct and construct.
Okay, I'm going to disengage. I'm not disengaged because I'm not using the action. I'm gonna move away from this one and right over the one next to Brian.
Okay. It's gonna take an attack of opportunity against you.
Yep.
That is a 27 to hit.
That does hit.
Okay. You do make it over there, but you also take. Oh,
That's gonna be
listen,
another
a pineapple
concentration
under
check.
a pineapple under a pineapple under a pineapple. You take 16 points of slashing damage as one of its arm blades just catches you across the back.
Concentration.
Another concentration
did
check. All right, you're good.
Already fine.
Yeah. I'll know when
I'll
he
let you
goes,
know if they
I
fail."
rolled a nat 1.
Yeah, I'll let you know if they don't work.
Zinni, you're on deck.
Now that I'm over to the one by Brian, move me actually like close to Brian, not just like close to it, but like
Okay.
next
Yeah,
to the two of them.
I
As long
keep
as I have
thinking
them
that
moving speed.
the thing Gideon's on is an obstacle, but it's not. You can get next to Rook. It's going to be kind of hard to get around it. You don't have enough movement for that. You're not within 5 feet of Brian, but you're at least close to him.
All right, am I 5 feet to that thing too?
I'll say yes. The way that you are.
Cool. I'm gonna take 2 attacks on that bitch.
Okay.
1, 2. I forgot to ask earlier. Is this thing large or medium?
This thing is large.
Okay. Well, that's a non-nat 20,
That'll hit.
and that is an actual nat 20.
Hey, there you go.
All right. So this one's the non-nat. That is 10. This one's the nat. That is, of course, I rolled a 2. 12. So 22 slashing.
Okay.
It is now marked, just so you know.
Okay.
And I don't really have any bonus actions left.
I need you to make a wisdom save for me.
Me?
Yes.
Oh, that's not good news. 15.
Okay. You are fine. There's this very weird feeling that comes over you. And you kind of just brush it off because you're in battle. But
That was weird. That concludes my turn.
okay, Zinnia, you take 5 points of slashing damage as you start your turn within 5 feet of the thing. But it is now your turn.
I'm gonna use Thorn Whip.
Okay. Disadvantage.
Disadvantage?
Mm-hmm.
Fuck.
Fine.
Oh, that's an 11.
Okay.
Why disadvantage?
Because it's a magical attack.
Oh.
And because
I
I'm
need
dying.
you and Kyron to make dexterity saving throws for me.
Oh, sorry, dude.
As you whip it, and there's this blast of energy that comes off of it.
It's fine. It was a 21.
10. Okay, you take 2 points of force damage. Kyron, you take 1.
Why is it that every time I attack this thing, I get hurt?
Because you keep using spells,
Yeah.
obviously. We've all learned
That's
this lesson.
literally
I
it.
Literally.
Everyone in this party is such a goddamn magic slut.
Right?
All right.
We just keep throwing magic at everything.
You gonna move, or you just gonna stay there?
I'm just gonna stay right here.
Alrighty. Top of the round.
We haven't learned to embrace just
I
blocking
used
it
magic
yet.
for my weapon, and now I can use my weapon.
Yeah, that doesn't technically count as a spell cast on it. It is just now a magical weapon. That's the thing on it.
Yeah.
All right, Brian, top of your turn. You take 1 point of slashing damage.
Ouch.
And now it's your turn.
So I think I can do this because Stinger is my packed weapon. And because Stinger is my packed weapon...
Which is technically sticking out of this thing right now.
Yeah, but I can just whoop it back to my hand, right?
Oh, yeah, because you're...
It's the laziest fucking return ever.
It's like literally like in your fingertips and you're like, nah, I'm good.
Yeah, I'm like, no, I have it now. So yeah, I'm
I have
going
your
to
knife now.
attack. What do you have? A knife!
No!
Okay, attack with Stinger, that is... Whoop. That's a... Am I still blessed?
Yes.
Bless you. That
No, bless you.
You're welcome, my child.
bless me.
And with you as well.
In total, that is 20.
That'll hit. And with your spirit too.
All right.
Isn't that the Catholic
so
thing? I don't know.
That is...
May the force be with you, and also with you.
No, it's changed. It's like, and with your spirit or something.
So it's 1d4 plus 9. Yes! So that is 4 plus 9, so that is 13 damage.
13 damage. All right, you stab into this thing on the side. You watch that kind of silverish energy sink into it, and you watch as it kind of shudders a little bit. It's looking pretty hurt, but it is still up.
I think I actually, yeah, I'm gonna healing word myself.
Okay.
Because I'm not looking great.
Healing word.
Healing wording myself at 4th level.
Okay. Go ahead and word those heals.
A massive 12 points of healing.
Alrighty. That the end of your turn?
That's the end of my turn.
All right. Nope, does not get its ability back. It is going to just turn in this general direction and try to just dual arm blade out against Aster and Brian. The one against
It has
Aster.
disadvantage on attacking anyone other than me, because it's marked.
Okay.
I'm within 5 feet of it.
Well, it rolled
And it also gets disadvantage on him because Rook's going to deflect it.
On
Rook's
him?
within 5 feet of Asher as well.
Okay.
So he has disadvantage on everybody.
Well, it rolled decently somehow on all of them. So the lowest one it rolled actually the same number for Asher, but it's a 21, which doesn't hit. And then the one against Brian, who's next to Rook, the lower one was a 14, so it's a 23 to hit. Which I think hits Brian's armor class.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Barely.
Yeah.
Somehow sneaks through.
Yeah, I can't do shit to that. Sorry, bud.
And you take 19 points of slashing damage as the arm blade just kind of pierces into you, and then it kind of retracts back into itself. And then it's going to try and roll away.
I do?
Yes.
Well, glad I healed that 12.
Rook doesn't get an attack of opportunity because he used his reaction already.
I'm going to try to attack of opportunity this bit.
I'm also going to try and attack of opportunity it.
They're at disadvantage. It's also moving closer to the big creature in the wall.
You say big creature in the wall, but it's the smallest of all the enemies.
I don't have a mini for it. What were the rolls?
So, I'm rolling with disadvantage?
Both of you are.
Oh, damn it. Oh, actually, that's still fine. 24.
That'll hit.
25.
That'll hit.
Cool, and because of fell-handed, it takes an extra 6, I think?
Sure, go for it.
Let me look it up real quick.
Gideon, you're on deck.
12.
Yeah.
Starting to look pretty hurt. Like real hurt.
20.
Still up, but barely. It's shaking as it's getting next to this creature in the wall that you notice, Zinnia, out of the corner of your eye, seems to be like starting to almost like heat up. Like it's starting to glow slightly. You're not sure why. But this creature rolls over, kind of clanking as it does, and ends its turn there. Gideon, you're up in the air.
I'm going to... You said the ceilings are about 40 feet?
Yeah.
I'm 20 feet. I'm going to lift myself the other 20 feet.
Okay.
Plant my feet on the ceiling.
Okay.
Brace myself and stop
Yeah,
my...
you're all good.
And then I'm gonna do the same thing I did last time. I'm just gonna pa-choom, pa-choom.
Okay. One at each or both at one?
I'll shoot the one that I'd been dealing with previously and see how it goes. So that's not great. I'm still blessed.
Did you roll bless?
Yeah. The 8 plus 9 is only a 17. I don't think that hits.
No.
Yeah, I don't think so.
So the first one just shoots off to the side, kind of sticks into the
Second one's even worse. Fuck. Rook's gonna go to launch. Bonus action, command Rook to go take a bite. That'll at least hit. Fucking nat 17 plus
That'll hit.
4. Yeah. The 5 plus. Rook never attacks, and I never remember his stuff. 5 plus 2, force damage. 7 force damage.
7 force damage.
I'm gonna arcane jolt again.
Oh,
Get 2 more.
could this?
2 more d6. I guess I don't need that die anymore. I just chucked it straight off the table. 7 more. So.
Woo! All right. So
14 total.
with that, Rook blasts this thing forward, and you watch as all of its pieces just kind of jettison off of it, and it is destroyed. Just kind of sifting against the wall. All the pieces are just mangled and messed up. But it is destroyed. It is
I'm gonna pump my
donezo.
fists above my head down towards the floor.
All right, that's the end of your turn.
I'm gonna go get this dice. Yeah.
The other one's turn. It is going to turn to both Kyron and Zinnia, and you hear this heavy whirring until it just blasts out with multiple pieces of jagged metal nuts bolts. Like I said before, I need both of you to make dexterity saving throws for me.
Yeah, that's actually good. I got an 18.
Kyron? 18? All right, you both save, but you still take... It's a little better. You both take 12 points of piercing damage as these just pieces of metal are just shot into you.
Uh-oh.
And it is just going to stay there. That is the end of its turn. Next in line is Kyron, and at the top of your turn, you take 6 points of slashing damage as the blades are whirling around you.
Okay, great. Wow, that was awful. That's. Oh, I'm inspired. What's the
It's a
thingy?
D8, I believe.
Okay. Oh, I'm fine now. So it's a 13 plus 6 plus 3.
Yeah, so that'll hit. That's a 22. Go and roll that damage.
Sorry, I'm too tired for math now.
No, it's all good.
Ooh, okay. That's 27.
That's a good hit. This one's also starting to look really hurt. It's also kind of starting to shake and just kind of be uncomfortable. Aster, you're up. Zinnia, you're on deck. Unless, Kyron, you have a bonus action you want to do.
No, I'm good.
Okay, you're just going to stay there?
Yeah.
All right, Aster, you are up. You watch as Rook just blasted that one against the wall out of existence into many pieces. There's one currently still standing. You're muted. You're muted.
It's been a long day, y'all.
It's all good.
20 feet away.
More than 20 feet away, but you can make it there.
All right, move me to 20 feet.
20 feet. 20 feet. There you go.
Cool. Once I hit that point, I'm gonna throw my axe at it.
Okay.
Using
Go.
one of the charges.
Alrighty. Go ahead and roll that attack there, bud.
Alright, that is yep, that's 27.
That'll hit.
And that's a 10 plus d6 lightning. That's 13.
Okay.
Right on it. And as I retract it back, I'm gonna cover the rest of the different distance, and right as it comes back to my hand, I'm gonna smack it on the head.
Alright, dope. Go for the second attack.
That's 25.
Yeah, that'll hit.
That's 14.
Oh. Still up.
Fuck. I wish you hadn't said that, because now I want to metagame. Fuck you.
You slam into it once. You watch the electricity arc through it, and it starts to fall. You go in for the second attack. You hit it, and you're like, that's got to do it. And it's holding on by a thread.
Man, fuck you. I could divine smite it.
You could have.
Could have. Alright. That's, actually, no. You know what? Is this... No, actually, I'm gonna save that. It's
Okay.
marked now.
It is also marked. Dinia, start of your turn. You take 1 point of slashing damage.
Uh-oh, she's down.
No, I'm not.
She's not.
That'd be so funny.
I'm at 21 hit points. It's fine.
This is just the first fight of the dungeon. You guys gonna be okay?
No.
Probably not.
Okay, I'm gonna use my little shillelagh quarterstaff and do a bonk. That's not natural 20.
Yeah. It has 1 hit
Let
point.
her
How do you
roll.
want to take care
Let
of
her
this?
roll!
Roll it. Go ahead.
Oh my god, I'm so excited. That's... Oh, wait, yeah, that's 8.
Yeah. How do you want to bonk this thing out of existence?
Oh my gosh, I'm just so angry because I keep hurting myself. And I just... And it...
Okay, so you and you like slam into it, and it just like stutters, and then all the pieces just kind of fall off and like start. Ding, 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 ding.
The bonk of rage.
Yeah, bonk of
The
rage.
least powerful attack this time, guys.
Yeah,
Like in this entire
Like-
entire fight.
like an old woman with a walking stick who's very angry. You hit this thing to the point where it just gives up on life, or its unnatural
the
life.
shame of it.
Do y'all remember that old video of the old lady crossing the street and the car is sitting there in the crosswalk and it honks at her and she takes her shopping bags and like slams it on the hood of the car
Yeah.
and it sets off the car
Car alarm, yeah.
That's basically what I'm thinking of right now.
As you guys are sitting here, kind of like breathing heavily, there is the sound of pressurized air still going on, and you realize now, whatever this thing in the wall is powering up. You don't know how much time you have left, but it's probably not a lot. What do you guys do?
Is there anything attaching it to the wall, or is it just like evenly inset into the wall? There's no like bar in front of it?
There's a couple of things attaching it to the wall. There's like an archway over it that seems to like dig into the wall behind it, and some of the pieces like jut into the actual golem itself. Are the rest of you doing anything, or are you just...
I want some of the stuff in here, so I don't want to leave yet.
Yeah, that's...
I'm gonna do what I was planning before we got attacked out of nowhere. I'm gonna hold my holy symbol and say a little prayer and say in my head, "Hey, I know you like correcting rare books and ancient knowledge and stuff, and this place looks like it kind of fits the bill of that. So if you could just sort of point out anything in here you might want, that'd be cool. I'll get it for you." And at the end of that, I'm going to cast Detect Magic.
Okay. The big thing in the wall that's currently powering up is a heavy source of magic. As you are kind of walking around, leaving the mechanical, I'm assuming, stuff to the mechanical people.
Yeah, I'm mostly like looking for like tomes or schematics or books, or like I'm looking for a sign of like from the god of knowledge, being like, "Hey, that's a rare book that I don't have. I want that one."
There is no book that pings off any magical essence to it. All of them that are able to be read have binding on them in a language, again, you don't understand. As you are walking across the room while they're trying to figure this out, there is a single ping of something that seems to have been enchanted off in one of the corners near one of the mechanical areas. And I will tell you what that is in just a second. What are you guys trying to do to get this taken care of?
I have one more question about this thing being set into the wall.
I have
Are
one
there
more
any
answer.
obvious like tubes or anything connecting it, or is it all hidden inside the wall?
There are a couple on the front that are connecting to
I'm
it.
gonna fucking smash them.
Okay. Make an attack roll.
Fucking. If there's like this thing is being powered
I-
by a source, I want to disconnect it from the source. That is a natural 18 for a total of 27.
All right, that'll hit.
I'm
I think you
still
might
blessed.
still have blessed.
So that's 28.
Okay,
Not that
it's
it
fine.
matters.
You hit it. Roll your damage.
What is my d10? There's 10 total, like an arcane jolt a third time for another 2d6. So 16 total.
16. Okay, you do manage to snap one of them just off of it, and there's just like this of like heavy compressed air, heat, and some like weird.
I'm also dropping levitate, so I'm slowly moving towards the ground.
Yeah, there's like a weird, like warbly energy to it, almost like a purplish tint.
Mhm.
But that one's off of it. It's still being powered up. That didn't halt its powering up. It may have slowed it down a bit, though. You may have bought yourself some extra time.
Are there any other similar ones?
Yeah, there's one on the opposite side of it. Like they're like both connected into the front of the shoulder pauldrons. Everything else seems to be behind in the wall.
Okay.
Astra, make an investigation check for me.
this is good. It was good. 17.
17. Okay. You notice as you're kind of walking around, you see that mechanical aspect kind of actually near where you've kind of made a round, and there's a table next to where this thing is powering up, and all your friends are currently like frantically trying to figure out what to do with it. You see what looks to be this like it's almost imperceptible, but because of just the general
It's not that big.
left to tarnish aspect of this room, you see what looks to be the slightest indent of a very large, like circular button into the wall.
After's gonna poke the button.
That's fair.
You poke the button.
I poke, dude. Is there any other choice if I'm playing my character right than to poke the button?
Nope. You poke the button.
Where in the room is he? Right now?
Literally right next to where that turret is, where Rook is, that table.
Oh, okay.
You guys hear this heavy like click, and there's this like as it sounds like all of whatever tubes are behind this thing are just detaching.
Wonderful.
It kind of sits there for a second, and then just without moving legs or anything, falls flat on its face
Hell yeah.
and stops moving. That orangish glow you were seeing kind of subsides slowly. Doesn't
was a
seem to
button
have
on
gotten
the
the
wall.
power that's required for it to kickstart.
All right, before we go anywhere, can everybody help me find all the little pieces of the metal that bounces spells off? Because I really want that. All like the shiny prism metal. I want that. Can everybody help me look for it?
Okay, I guidance you.
I
Yeah.
pushed a button over here.
Thank you,
Also, as you push the button and you kind of take the opportunity to look across the table, there is the thing that's giving off the magical essence is a like a small brass circle with like a bunch of different kinds of tools on them.
Ooh.
I bend down and pick it up and hold it in my hand.
They're very ornate. They seem to have not been affected by the time tarnish or decay, and almost have like a weird like mechanical shifting aspect to them. Like the tool is not any specific tool, but is also all tools at once. It's very weird.
As I'm holding it, I look up to the sky and talk out loud to Ayun. You sure this is what you wanted? It doesn't look like a book or anything.
As you're looking across the pieces, they're not very large. This thing is held together by a lot of tiny arms inside of it that it kind of moves out to like release blades. So the biggest pieces that you find are maybe about this big. And the one that Rook took care of are even smaller because that thing was decimated.
Yeah, that's fine.
But make an investigation check for me.
5 on this? Plus 8. 19 total. 19. 11
Check
plus
something
8.
real quick.
Hmm?
Okay. So, as you're looking across the room,
Rocks fall, everybody dies.
is that 19 total?
Yes.
Okay. The pieces of metal themselves are
I'm assuming they were metal.
you do come to realize that they are metal and they're infused with whatever this is. That shimmer seems to be slightly dampened by the damage that it's took from the battle that it's had. And as you're kind of very frustrated about it, realizing that most of this is probably not going to work, you happenstance just run back over to where the weird dissected creature is, and look at the large boulder thing. And as you come to the same conclusion, like, oh,
it's a nice boulder.
It's a nice boulder. It's a snail of some sort. You kind of get this moment of inspiration, and you run over to like the big boulder-looking thing, and it seems to have been completely stripped of anything. And you kind of like head down on the table, and you hear like tiny glass clinking, and you're kind of like looking over, slightly frustrated, and in 2 small vials, probably about this big and this wide, you see a prismatic dust within both of the vials, seemingly matching the translucent prism-like aspect that this metal had.
All right, 2 times prismatic dust vials it is.
Also, as the creature falls and slams on the floor, Zinnia, you notice this, being more perceptive than everyone. There is like the slightest crack that looks like there's some kind of secret door behind where this large golem was.
Can I get it?
Yeah, it's out of the way. You just kind of step over it. It's just a stone door. You kind of put some weight on it. It's moves slightly. You might have to just put some extra weight on it. So if you want to make a strength check just to see if you can push it.
Is there still music playing? There's still music playing?
Yes.
Can't hear anything.
It's just light.
That's a 7.
7. You push against it. It doesn't seem to move at all.
Is Astra nearby?
Yeah, he's literally right to your left.
I'm just gonna be like, hey buddy, I got a wall for you to push.
You're muted.
I've generally learned that pushing on walls doesn't do much.
Well, this wall is like a separate part of a wall, so you can push it.
Okay.
I believe in you. You got this.
I walk over to her and just put in her hands whatever the thing was that was glowing and say, "Don't break."
I
It's
believe
for
in you
God.
more, and I inspire him.
Okay.
And I push on the wall.
Make a strength check for me.
That's a 21, and I'm inspired. So, what is it? What's your inspiration dice? Is it 20? Is it D8?
Yeah, D8.
I think it's a D8.
It's a 23.
Okay. Easily enough. You walk up and with your giant strength, push on this door, and you hear just like a... as it just kind of opens up and scrapes against whatever is on the other side. And as you open the door fully, there's like a plate underneath where the golem was standing that kind of shifts slightly, and you realize that it connects to some kind of track. And as you look inside, it looks to be probably about 10 feet into this tunnel. There's a minecart of some kind that seems to be on a track that continues down this tunnel.
I guess we're going down more.
Yeah.
We don't want to go through this door before we go to the scary minecart tunnel?
But I feel like the door is the obvious.
Secret tunnel.
Yeah.
Do we not even want to see what's on the other side of that door before we decide to go whole hog into the tunnel?
Then open it real quick.
Yeah.
Just open the other door.
You're on the other side of the room. You gotta pass the door to get to this side of the room. You might as well go on the way here. Big brain thoughts.
I thought I was in that corner of the room. I don't know where I am.
You're on that half of the room.
Yeah, you're actually right here.
Haha.
Okay, yeah, I'll go peek through the door.
Okay. Door is not locked. It is heavy, but you open it on its hinge. It just leads to another tunnel. And at the edge of your dark vision, it's just dark. It continues going. Seems to slightly curve to the right.
But it seems to be roughly parallel to the
No, this one, as they're looking at it, if you also look at the tunnel, this minecart tunnel kind of starts to veer to the right as well. This one slightly veers, like you're also looking this way and then slightly veering this way. Mm-hmm. The minecart tunnel is this way and veers this way. It's also going down.
I thought the tunnel was like parallel to the wall. I don't know.
We could just hop in with the carts and go for a ride.
That's up to y'all.
I'm with Zinnia. Secret tunnel. Also, Wheeler, I need to wake up hella early, buddy.
Oh yeah, we were going to end it and pick up next week.
Cool.
As you guys are now in this room, finding the things that you have found. Most any other thing in here that's magical or may have some arcane ability, you can grab small implements. There's not really anything of use, but you can grab like various small arcane tools that are cool.
As I'm looking around one last time, I look up to Ayun and say, "Are you sure there's nothing else you want in here? Because we're probably not coming back."
But nevertheless, sorry, had to open the door. Yeah, that is where we'll end tonight and pick up next week. So thank you all who joined us tonight. We really appreciate it. I hope you enjoyed the start of this wonderful adventure that these crazy group of individuals is going on. If you haven't already, please follow the channel. Please consider subscribing if you have the money for it. We understand it's a hard time. Thank you for all of those who did subscribe, and thank you, Words, for gifting the subscriptions to those people. I really appreciate it. We will be back next week, same bat time, same bat channel, to get this moving and hopefully come to the final path and leg of this fun journey. So have a great night. I'm actually going to... It was brought to my attention last night that we should raid other people. So I'm going to find someone random to raid. You know what? Nerd Immersion doesn't need my viewership, but they only have 13 viewers. I don't even know if they'll let me raid, but if they do, I'm going to raid them.
Yeah, let's see it.
So thank you guys for joining us tonight. If you enjoyed this, again, visit us next week. We'll be here on Thursday for a mini painting stream. It's gonna be fun. So I'm going to try and figure out how to raid. And while that happens...
So what you do is you get to max level, and then you get a group of friends who are all also at max level.
Yes,
then you go to the end game zone.
Raid Shadow Legends.
Also, yes, the Ruro mini painting Thursday, 7:30 to 9:30, right before Critical Role. Chris and I will be back. We are doing Nightmares.
They sponsor everyone.
Yeah, we for sure could get a Raid Shadow Legends sponsor.
Yeah, let's do it. All right. Like I said, have a great night. Tomorrow's a new day. It might be a little hectic. Try to stay as positive as possible. The world's an ever-changing place, and we will all be okay as long as we stick together. So I'm going to turn this over to our end screen and then attempt to raid someone. So thank you for joining us, and have a great night. Bye-bye.